for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Jay.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm telling you, I've been doing this stuff so long, man. Somebody hit the wrong button and we were live, but we weren't live and y'all couldn't hear me or they couldn't hear me or we just couldn't hear. So I hope that we can get it right this time. Take 10. Anywho, I'm Barbershop. What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. Make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them that BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so. And we will throw it up on the screen. And y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks that wants to leave a question or comment that's indignant or ignorant in nature, won't be seen on this screen. Matter of fact, here's what you'll get.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
With that being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from across the way, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say. Why are you on the screen?
Why am I?
Gosh, man.
Why am I on the screen?
Anyway, do you want your intro? You stop fudging the line, man. Stop doing that, bro. We just had a technical difficulty. But where was you at? You the IT guy. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm gonna give him his intro anyway. Anyway, I don't want to hear it. Anyway, IT guy. Yeah, you see where he out where he at. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Don't look at me like that. Yeah, you can give you a shout out. What is going on, man?
I got 5 bad links. Okay. He said he sent it to me. I got 5 bad links. I'm on the show.
What is going? Will y'all stop touching the buttons? My gosh. Hey, listen, man. This is the type of stuff. This is the type of stuff you do on Fridays, man. After you've been drinking or something, man. This is a Wednesday, man. Y'all need to. Y'all need to call.
Hey, listen. It's WrestleMania week. We getting started early.
No, don't start with me. I don't have time. No, don't start. Hey, don't listen. Don't start with me. And then he wanted to disappear. That's why. That's my
I'm
biggest.
Still trying to get this show. Like I feel like I'm the medium. Connecting one exposed wire to the other. Just being
that's his job. Him, the guy over there in the third row.
Well, if I would have got the right link, because I've been sitting here looking at a great screen since 9 o'clock.
Dude,
like, are we doing the show today?
Hey, when after the fiasco is when I went back to go grab everything, and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, Angel Reese.
Like, right.
Yeah, I don't get
so
it.
Then I'm like, what did
Why are you looking at me when you say that? Anyway, we got a great show for y'all today. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? We got a little NFL. We got
it's already.
Well, I mean, right. Yeah, I mean, what a way to start the day off. I mean, my gosh. Anybody that work night shift, y'all feel my pain, right? Dealing with these two right here. Anyway, we got some NFL talk, you understand? NCAA football talk. And, of course, the NBA playoffs. But up first, let's start the show. Should I say, actually, breaking news. I just found out don't show that now, from a very reliable source that I don't know how far along it is or whatever it is, but Bob Huggins' name, did I say that right, has been mentioned in connection with the Cleveland State. Can you hear me now? He. Oh, yeah, okay. Ha, ha, he. Ha, 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 he, ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, Helen. Bob Huggins' name has been mentioned in connection with Cleveland State CSU. Oh, my, really?
Yes, keep going. Yes, we need this. Go ahead.
No, we don't need nothing. Don't highlight me. Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, man. Listen, I can go take my Metamucil and go home. I can go home. I'm not dealing with this today. Anyway,
you're doing the breaking news.
Okay, right. Got you.
Shadow on you.
But the way y'all keep messing with the camera, somebody over there smile like they break and win.
He said,
anyway,
Like if I was part of the y'all messing with the camera, I'd have been here on time instead of looking at a great screen for a half hour.
Yeah, well, that's what y'all say. Anyway, Bob Huggins' name has been mentioned in connection with Cleveland State Vikings men's basketball head coaching position. And should he get the job, or should that come about, he's going to add Earl Boykins to his staff. Shout out to Earl. And if y'all know anything about Earl B, baby, trust and believe, we grew up watching it live in the backyards and at the Tri-C, open runs or whatnot. But what he was, Earl Boykins, that is, at the NBA level, was nothing short of amazing. Him, shout out to Spud, cats like Spud Webb. I'll give you a salute. You understand me? Yeah, Eastern Michigan. Oh, now you here. But anyway, let's start the show. See what I'm saying? Y'all thought I was going to hit the button again. I'm not.
See, I was ready to say the audio's not working again. Ready to panic.
Don't panic.
Listen.
Don't panic. Be prepared.
Listen.
We're here, baby. We're here.
Listen. Y'all not finna. We not finna. Y'all not finna. Not. It's not finna happen.
Hey, we gotta add that to the lexicon. We not finna. Okay. Y'all not finna. Not.
Yeah, it's not finna happen, bro.
Not finna. Not.
Anyway, but up first, as I should say.
Yeah,
it's Shark Week. I'm just saying hypothetically, it's Shark Week.
Mm-hmm.
The Meg or Jaws? Which one you watching all week? Oh, that's we got a comment coming. Oh, Detroit fan man, shut up.
It's so late early.
Hey, listen, hey, Detroit, hey, listen, man, don't listen. It ain't me, bruh. You know what I mean? It ain't me. It's Shark Week though. Okay. The Meg or Jaws? Which one are you watching all week? Oh man, I gotta
there is no debate, right? I mean, even I was going to throw the caveat. Like,
now you want to be seen.
Or...
Now you want to be seen. Really?
Well, wait, all of them or the original?
All of them.
The franchise or just or the first movie? The franchise or the
franchise? The franchise.
See.
Give me Sharknado.
Oh, this dude right here. Well, how about Shark Boy and Lava Girl? How about that? You know what I'm trying to say? Sharknado. That was some garbage. That's Tubi. And that's Tubi as in short for terrible. Terrible. I'm trying to say, man, please. Terrible and horrendous all at once. Give me the Meg, man. I mean, I grew up on Jaws now. Don't get me wrong. Dun, 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 dun. But the Meg, especially the first one. Mrs. Alva's weighing in. She's saying he will be watching Jaws with me. Listen. Oh man, some stuff that after midnight don't need to be said before midnight.
You know what
I'm trying to say? Don't nobody listen.
That's like don't.
Oh my God,
ludicrous lyrics.
Yeah. Don't know. Yeah, listen. Oh my God,
I don't be wanting to know that.
Yeah, who drinking the Lucia today? This is what I want to know.
Listen, they got the same flask. All right, you hear
exactly.
Look, I think somebody spiked my drink or something because
boy, you did.
I take one
with all of the technical issues. I really was
sitting me in an inspired. I was sitting there looking at a gray wall for a half hour.
Okay, well, how about a gray shark? My gosh, I asked you which one.
I'm
not talking to you, Double J. You Sharknado. What the Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
I'll take Jaws. I'll take Jaws
over the Meg.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The problem is, but
I forgot this. You the same person that would take Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura when nature calls over the Godfather. So I forgot who I was talking to. But go ahead. That's what you told me. I'm putting you on blast.
I never said that.
Oh, you didn't say that?
What I did say.
I got receipts.
What I did say is that Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson are 1 and 1A. For Joker.
Oh man, stop it!
Did say,
man, stop it. Anyway, go answer the shark question because you're right there.
I said
because that's ridiculous.
Jaws, sir.
Okay,
I would say Jaws. It's tough to watch because now that we're 56, we're 50 years removed from it.
You said what happened? Six what?
Special effects.
Man, I'm 6'9", man. I break your spine. Don't come for mine. I'm trying to say you gonna say now that we 50 or 60. That's what you was finish it. Finish it.
A rhyme like you was 9, but you know it's way past your bedtime. Now I see you night.
You know what?
All
right. Okay.
Where's bars?
Yeah, where's Doc at when you need him? Go ahead. Well, yeah. I mean, I get it, but you know.
Yeah, it's hard because you'd have to kind of take the special effects. You have to suspend disbelief in a sense because
Detroit fan man weighed in. He said, "Sleeper shark movie. Ever see The Reef?" No, I have not.
I didn't get a chance to see that one. Detroit fan man.
Give me some details, Detroit. Give me some details, because listen. I'm a movie. I ain't gonna say I'm a buff.
Yes,
but I do like a good cinema every now and again. You know what I'm saying?
Film, yes.
And The Accountant too, absolutely. If your boy definitely gonna be in attendance. Definitely. Yeah, give me some details, Detroit. But in the meantime, let's get to some of this sports talk action right here. We're gonna officially start the show again. Travis Hunter says, and I misquote, he would rather stop playing versus playing one position. Chat's Browns fit. Why should Shedeur Sanders is quarterback number 1? Who needs to, Chat's Brown. Who cares about the Browns? Where'd you find this at? We don't need to read that, man. Oh my gosh, I don't want to read that. I just want to know. He said, I'd rather quit football than only play one position. Who's buying that? That's all I want to know. I don't need to read nothing from him.
He wouldn't quit football, but he's really politicking to play multi positions. I think it's more of a statement of, I really want to do this. I really want to play more. I really want to play on both sides of the ball at the pro level. And it more than just a novelty, more than Deion Sanders did it, and more than other players may occasionally do it.
Bo Jackson? No, Bo Jackson played 2 different sports.
Yeah, correct. But he wants to be able to replicate at the pro level, being on special teams or being your starting slot back or corner. And also,
Jay, we don't need to see the article. Thank you. Just stop clicking the buttons, man.
So he's going at it. He's taking, I think, what's it called, hyperbole. You know what I'm saying? He's taking an extreme to make the point more so that he really wants to play 2 positions. I don't think it's an ultimatum. He'd be a fool for that.
Yeah, I think so too. But do you think he's saying that to gain at this point? Can he gain some sort of draft leverage or something?
Yeah, because some teams I believe there are teams that may consider it. There are some teams that may consider it, and there are some teams that want his talents, but they are absolutely not going to play him at 2 positions. So
I don't know.
Do
you think he's saying that too, not really understanding what it's like making a jump from college to the NFL?
Of course, he don't understand what it's like making that jump. I mean,
Detroit fan man says the Reef follows Austin friends who capsize while sailing to Indonesia and are stalked by a great white as they attempt to swim to a nearby island. Jaws like horror on a modern screen. Oh, okay.
Okay, so it is
yeah. He said this. He said he also says edited from the AI. Okay, all right. Well, I got to check it out. Good looking out for the movie. Hey, I like a good recommendation, baby. I keep telling y'all about the outfit. The outfit, Cruella, Baby Driver. I mean, and the Beekeeper too while you're playing. I'm just saying, this is some recommendations just to toss out there. You know what I mean? In case you haven't seen them, you might want to check them out. And if you have seen them, it's worth to watch again. What about 5? What you mean?
Brian
5 fingers?
Philippe, Lawrence Fishburne.
5 fingers?
Yes. It's oldie.
Hold up. Let me write that down. Hold up. Bro, why you just not telling me this? Man, you're ridiculous. Airy. Movie. What'd you call it? 5 fingers?
5 fingers.
Man, you ain't talking about the 5 fingers of death, are you? That's Bruce Lee, bro.
Did I mention Bruce Lee? I said
no, you didn't have to, but you said 5 fingers. I need specifications.
I just gave it.
Hey, respect your elders. Respect your elders.
Right.
Listen, I wear
senility is real.
Yeah, it is, but you shouldn't talk to people who wear Depends. Not like that. That's You know, listen, I ain't no shame in mine. You understand? Y'all just keep on living. That's what you do, because that's how you talking. You talking reckless right now. Is what I'm trying to tell you. You understand? I'm trying to say.
But
Travis
again,
Hunter. But at the end of the day, though, if you are an NFL team, well, let you expound on the whole draft position thing. Do you think he's trying to gain leverage in draft position? We'll get to your comment in a second.
Yeah, but because I think at this point in the draft conversation, or up until the draft, there's an idea of what teams are interested and what teams aren't. And I believe if his agent is doing the job that he needs to do, and if he's got his ear to the ground the way he needs to, he has an idea of what teams are at play. And I believe making a statement like this, courting or entertaining the idea that he wants to play two positions, he wants to legitimately start or play, get significant reps at two positions, that will wean out the teams that are really not interested in him versus the teams that are. So it's kind of like a dog whistle.
Okay, do you think any of the top three teams? Oh, hold up. Detroit fan man weighed in again. He talking about the show. He said, thought that was the Rick James joke. What did the five fingers say? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
What did the five fingers say to the face?
I say, why not, bro? If you think you can do it, why not? Nothing beats a failure but a try, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, until it's an ACL on the 3rd and 7 in the second quarter of the first game of the season, because you playing defense and you the starting quarterback. That's the problem. The problem is it's much more critical because
hold your thought. Listen, man, the Lucia is flowing heavily today in that house. Mrs. Alva, I gotta really say I enjoy the fact that Double J just sits back and let Gully and Barbershop argue like son and father. Ha ha ha.
You know what, Mrs. Alva?
Yeah,
you are off the bakery list for this year.
Absolutely.
No more sweet potato pie for you. Nope, you're not
Absolutely.
gonna get one.
None.
Nope.
None. Anyway, you remember the Bernie Mac episode where they had the little dog Bernie? Yeah, you get one of Bernie's Yuletide logs as well. Yeah, I say let him do it though, man. You know, why not? Let's just to see. You know what I mean? Because we in this day and age of firsts anyway. He the first player to tie his shoe since the last guy tied his shoe. Therefore, he's better than me and you.
Well,
you know that's what them narratives are nowadays.
Yeah. Well. All right. Even at the collegiate level, there is still.
And feel free to dump in, Double J.
Dump in.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, you know,
sitting back there, yeah, no, sipping on.
All right, so look at the collegiate level. How many football teams are there at the collegiate level? Right, over 100, right?
117, I think, to be exact.
That's just 18 now with UT Grand Valley or Rio.
Oh, that's
Valley.
Right there. Play. No, that's D1 though.
Wait a minute. And we talk about D1, right? So how many?
D1.
Right.
It's 117 D1 schools.
Exactly. So the 117 D1 schools. Then you got the Division 2, the Division 3 schools.
Point is, Mount Union. Shout out to Mount Union, baby.
It's so much. There's so many areas or avenues for players to go that there's a lack of talent. So a guy like Travis Hunter, because talent is so spread out amongst all the ranks of the collegiate level, you're likely to have a lack of talent in an area where a guy like Travis Hunter can be, even if he's, let's say, average or above average, if good, if not great at a cornerback position, he can also be great as a quarterback, because at the cornerback position, there is a lack of talent or lack of depth of talent, such that a good corner who's also my starting QB makes sense because he's still a great option at cornerback compared to the rest of the cornerbacks. You're down to 30 teams at the professional level. You have a far higher concentration of great talent. It is not worth the risk to have my starting cornerback be my starting quarterback. It is not worth the risk.
What do you mean your starting cornerback be your starting
because
quarterback?
That's what he want to do. He want to start at two positions like he did in college. That's why he's saying
I know, but quarterback ain't one of them.
Travis Hunter?
He want to be a corner. He want to be a corner and a receiver.
Wide receiver. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, your bag.
So even still, you don't have you have such a higher concentration of talent. It is not worth the risk to have my starting cornerback also be my starting receiver.
Right, but okay, but you're talking about on a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
Right. Okay, but you can have packages. They had packages for Dion.
Well, and in fairness,
and because so in other words, don't make it seem as if though. I mean, what you're saying has definite merit, but we've seen it before.
Right.
To a certain extent.
What didn't Troy Brown have like 7 picks at slot at nickelback one year?
Yeah. No, he played corner.
He played corner. Oh, he
was corner. Yeah, okay. He played corner. Yeah, I'm just saying. But what I think Travis Hunter can do, because it's not as if there's no evidence at all whatsoever of this being done at the NFL level. Now, mind you, we're talking about an NFL at a time when Dion played where they wasn't doing the Deacon Jones head slapping, but Ronnie Lott was in the league.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to say Kenny Easley was in the league. Okay, and that 85 Bears was in the league. I'm just saying now. Lawrence Taylor was in the league. You know, you can Joe Theismann, with all due respect. You know, I'm trying to say, okay, you can still do certain things in the league then that you can't do now, and it was done then. Maybe 45%. Travis Hunter maybe looking to do it 55%. But let me ask you this: him doing it at all. Let me give you a MLB equivalent. I think we don't see it often, but I've seen on more than one occasion where a guy whose position is in the outfield, but he'll come in and be a pitcher because of for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, some guy went down or something, or, you know, maybe it's a 19 inning game and they done went through everybody or whatever, you know, he got to, you know, and he come out throwing some, I won't say heaters, but, you know, striking guys out. You know what I mean?
I never quite understood that part because, you know, the gun will get them at 66 miles an hour, you know, and maybe a heater at 82, right? So by far, quite a bit different than what these guys are accustomed to seeing.
That's why a knuckleball is still far more effective than the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
But my question is this, right? So when the reason I kept showing the article was what he was saying, which is he's used to playing both sides of the field. So this would almost be like the death of his football career because he's done that forever. You know, that's what he's used to. But and of course, there's only 35 seconds basically between plays. He did play about 30 more defensive plays than offensive plays just last season. I will say he's supposed to have his number retired. A lot of people, you know, on the critical side of things are saying, you know, well, he amassed a losing record and finished 8th in the Heisman voting. Why are we retiring his number? I forgot all about that. I'm just talking. Well, that's another thing. But right quick though about him playing that in the NFL. He said when you said he's saying he's used to he's accustomed to playing two positions. Okay. But mind you, let's remember that in college, how many of the 22 players combined for both teams, obviously, is next level talent. But in the NFL, everybody on the other side of the line of scrimmage deserves to be there. Right. Even by NFL standards, if we say this guy's a bum or whatever, that's why Brian Scalabrine, oh boy. On the NBA, on the NBA side, that's why Brian Scalabrine. Talking about breaking wind, throw that with it.
Yeah, right. That's why Brian Scalabrine is mopping up park legends. He like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the 14th man on the bench, but I'm just saying everybody at the NFL level is NFL level.
Leave it to the white mamba to save the face of the NBA.
I'm just saying that's another story for another day. Detroit Fan Man says, I'm out on Hunter as well. The risk is too huge. Trusting any rookie, especially at his size, to handle the weight of just one position is a risk at the NFL level, especially. Okay. Now I'm going to rely on him to start two positions. Man, with a top pick. Yeah, that's something to think about. And then he also says, if Hunter chose either spot and promised to focus, I'd be interested. I'm concerned he doesn't believe he is good enough to just be elite at one job and needs this gimmick to stay notable.
That's
Well,
where I kind of disagree with Detroit
Yeah,
fan, man.
But it's interesting. That's an interesting take, though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is. But again, we got to stay on. Have we ever seen anything of this ilk before, regardless to what extent? Yes, we have. So
Yeah.
it's not impossible. Especially again with the temperature of the NFL, what it was then versus what it is now. It's lighter, albeit still a collision sport.
Well, I'm going to point out a few things here. The first of which is the only time we've seen a guy play more than one position in the modern era in a different sport, of course, was Ohtani. And Ohtani got paid as such. We have not talked about that. Travis has not talked about that.
All right. Good point.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we need to talk about that because look what it's doing to him right now.
Now, we mentioned how the Giants.
Ohtani.
Okay, hold that thought, Double J. Hold on. What you mean? What you mean? Be more specific. You talking about his injuries?
Yes.
Okay, but here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. Throwing a baseball as opposed to batting down or catching a football in terms of wear and tear on body, totally different.
How so?
Okay, Ohtani is a pitcher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what your arm, shoulders down all the way through to your wrist got to go through, man? For 5 innings to throw a ball 91 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour. I'm talking about, and then the time in between the ball hitting the catcher's mitt and then him throwing it back to you and you ready to do it again.
Right. And you're doing that. You're getting 70 reps of live game action.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The warm-up pitches between games. That's
what I'm trying to say.
Right. Okay.
So take 2 pencils and a rubber band and twist them apart and then let them go. Then keep doing it and then let them go. And then keep doing it, let them go. Them rubber bands coming apart at some point, bro. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? And then they have to have, what was his position in the outfield? Was it center?
Ohtani?
Yeah, Ohtani.
No, it wasn't defensively. It was just that he would hit with the bat.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, okay. Well, hitting, I mean, it still requires muscle.
Oh, wait. No, because he was in the AL, so he was a start. Yeah, that's where the novelty was. He pitched like he was a pitcher.
Yeah, he was a pitcher. Right. He was a pitcher. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was a regular. He wasn't like DHing or nothing. He was in the lineup.
Right. Yeah, he
was. You know what I'm trying to say? Lineup. Yeah, but listen, but he did both long enough that they like, dang. Will we ever see that again? We might see guys attempted, but that he was doing it at a insane. Detroit fan man says National League, but we. What is it? What does it mean? Oh, what? Here National League
now with the Dodgers. Right?
Now he's with the Dodgers. Yeah, now he's with the Dodgers.
The Angels are in
the AL.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, Travis Hunter. Why not let him try? You know, but to the whole thing about the draft position, could you? Let's say he just wanted to do wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
One of those top 3 teams taking him.
Sure.
Let's say he wanted to do both and was literally adamant about doing both.
Well, he is, and this is why I wanted to get to the article, because this is from the Giants GM saying Travis is a unique individual. He's fun to watch. It's unique that the ball skills, the route ability, and the ability to go on the other side and play corner, you just don't see that often. A lot of times, if these guys can't catch or play receiver, then they get moved to DB. This guy can do it all. He's a great kid. It would be hard to keep him off the field. He's motivated to play both ways. You always worry about the length of the season with 17 games. He's a unique athlete that
That's
think
a good
will
point.
Be able
Length of
to do
season.
both.
Length of season. That's a good. That's a good point too.
Now, he also stated he would not be afraid to play him on both sides of the ball. What that does almost imply, however, is that it wouldn't be full time. Meaning there's going to be a compromise somewhere.
But that sounds fair.
I'm not.
That sounds fair.
Here's the deal. If you're paying him that money at 2 positions, Aren't you?
Is that what? Is that? So,
aren't you?
Yeah, that's really what it come down to.
If Drew Rosenhaus would be my agent immediately,
if you're paying,
that's exactly what would occur.
But
you're paying me 4-2.
If you're going to pay a player like Travis Hunter at 2 positions to be productive at 2 positions.
Hold that thought, Gully. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we finish this up, and then we're gonna get into some more football talk, but on the NCAA side. Hold that thought right there. Hold on.
Cleaning the cracks on your pavement surfaces can take hours and be torturous on your body. Until now. Bicracky Weed Removal Tool was designed specifically to clean pavement cracks in a fraction of the time, all while standing up. Bicracky's patented design incorporates a 2-sided steel blade and is encased by a durable fiberglass shell. Simply use the large end to clean big gaps, then rotate and use the small tip for narrow gaps. Made in the USA, Bicracky eliminates weeds to the root and is environmentally friendly. Bicracky, save your back while you clean your crack.
Shout out. We are back. Before we continue, though, I want to give a shout out to the people once again. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, if it's not for you, it's no us, bro. And we've been doing this for a long time, and people have been having this stick-to-itiveness to stay with us, and we appreciate that as always. And for the folks that give us a like, love, or subscribe, I salute. Gully, go ahead, finish your thought. Where did he go? Oh my gosh, we go to a commercial and this guy does that. Double J, did you take him out again? This is unbelievable. Oh man, who really wants to see that? Nobody wants to see State Farm coverage. Anywho, at the end of the day, did you take Gully out?
No, I didn't know he left.
Boy, you all are ridiculous. Why do we do this? Why do you all wait till we get here to do this? Hold on 1 second. We got another comment, I think.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there. Yeah.
Nope.
Where did he go? Anyway, Detroit fan man is weighing in. He said this is the whole point. If he is just a wide receiver, talking about Travis Hunter, he is the second, third best wide receiver. If he is just a cornerback, he is likely the best cornerback. But in either case, he is really just a mid-first round pick.
I disagree in that respect. Look at the Lions when they messed up and drafted a corner at 2 or 3. Similarly, the Giants cannot afford to miss, as an example. And so I think there's going to be.
Yeah, the Giants are still in trouble. They still on the hook for that Saquon thing. I don't care what nobody says.
Right. The Browns can use all the help they can get. So put him on
and
a guy that can possibly play on both sides of the ball.
Hey, just listen. Hold up.
Swings to the bat.
Hold up, Gully. Did you hear what he just said? The Browns could use all the help they could get.
Yeah.
What is he saying in that sentence that we ain't been saying since you was born?
Right.
Then exactly. Oh, please, the Browns, man. Please, the Browns. You know what I mean? Don't get me started. But go ahead, Gully. Finish your comment. Finish what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, if you are Travis Hunter, and you're positioning yourself to be a full-time starter on offense and defense, and you want a contract reflecting as such, as a GM, couldn't that be considered as you're overpaying for both?
I don't think so.
You don't consider that you're overpaying for you're overpaying your starting cornerback, and you're also overpaying for your starting wide receiver?
What I would do is the way they move money and numbers
for a roster spot.
You get into right because you're committing one roster. You're committing 2 roster spots to one individual, and that individual wants a premium for being able to be productive at both. Okay,
so I mean, if a good GM he know how to incentivize a contract in the whole 9, but at the same time, I would somebody. It's a numbers cruncher somewhere,
Right.
Maybe I'd go get the guy who came up with the whole Moneyball idea and ask him to crunch numbers for me. But I'd come up with something where maybe I'm not paying you top dollar for this and that, but kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Maybe you incentivize one position a little bit more so than the other. Like defensive productivity is more,
Hey,
is more
Detroit,
incentive laden.
Detroit fan, man, it's hilarious. He said, love seeing all James Brown's angst while wearing both the logo hat sweater. Reminds me of life as a Lions fan before Dan Campbell. hey, hey, Detroit, let me tell you something, though. Hey, when I'm at Walmart, okay, not a free plug, I'm just saying, and I see something on the clearance rack, I'm getting it. I'm just trying to tell you right now, okay? But if them days of me shelling out mortgage money for a jersey, absolutely not. It won't happen ever again in life. I'm just saying, it won't.
He got a whole section.
You know,
of
there's
his
a new show
with Cleveland Municipal Stadium bricks. A whole section of his driveway.
Hey,
when you
all them
pull
little
up on the driveway is all
garden gnomes.
Bricks.
Wait, listen, y'all wear shoes curl up at the front. So who you talking about? The elf? Gnome garden. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Man, don't play me.
Hey, there's a new show out on NFL security, and of course, where were they featuring as like the main trailer and plug?
Cleveland.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, man. You better come.
And somebody who's been there a handful of times, more than our host, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
there's a lot of friendly fire over there.
Hey, close the front door, shut the window, and make sure the baby's in the baby crib, baby. You understand me? I'm trying to tell you right now. Anybody who went to games at Municipal Stadium, I will be the first to tell you, I thought we were going to see Barbershop on the show. What is okay, put it down. Somebody need to call the paramedics or something. She's tossing them back like
that Lucia.
Yeah, that Lucia, boy. You know,
look, what's in the bottom? What's in there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't say motor oil. Ain't nobody buying that. Maybe it is.
That was blue and ain't Windex.
I'll be the first one to tell you that it was a dump. Oh my gosh, going to the restroom. Anyway, I'm not going to complete that visual. But ask anybody that was there. But dare I say, there were games, especially the playoff games. There was an aura about that place, man, where it was a swell. You got caught up in the moment, man. The place used to jump. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Man, the dog pound back then, it really looked like it looked like a junkyard dog pound is what it did. I'm trying to tell you. Man, we used to come in through the backside. They had cut the fence. Man, you could come in, man. It was all type of anyway. I'm not gonna give y'all that.
Like the hostility level of the dog pound could only be rivaled by Oakland
or Philly,
or Philly.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was on that level. But it was
it was on. Yeah, it was raucous. It was rambunctious. It was any of it. And then this new stadium, the one they got down there now, man, it's cosmetic, bruh. When you go in, everybody got to go to the left. Excuse me, go to the right. Excuse me, maybe your shoes are not tied. Man, get out of here. Can't even bring in signs no more, bruh.
Yeah, that new stadium was way too fast.
And the go look at the dog pound that fence was, bruh. Eric Metcalf scored them 2 touchdowns against Pittsburgh, bruh. Oh my gosh, man. Anyway, don't get me started. But again, I'd like to see him do it, bruh. For real. I'd like to see him do it. And who knows, man? Maybe he'll last longer than the other 2. But there does have to be a balance, and they could come up with a way to pay him, I think, where they kind of meet in the middle. You know what I mean? Am I yay or nay? Where y'all go? Here, let me get to this comment right quick. This is ridiculous, bro. Oh, never mind. That's Mrs. Alva weighing in again. Yeah. All right. We slide things over to excuse me. Excuse me. We're just gonna slide things over right quick. You understand? On the NCAA side of the football ledger. You understand what I'm trying to say? And some unfortunate, tragic news. By now, you all know that Kyron Lacy committed suicide. Double J, if you could, give me that graph. I want to read to you all what his father said in regards to. Let me Double J, handle the comments for me because I need to blow this up.
Got it.
Kenny Lacy, father of the late Kyron Lacy now, unfortunately, again. Young parents, start talking to your kids at a very early age and make sure they are confident and comfortable confiding in you. Don't be cool with, quote unquote, I'm all right or I'm good. when you know deep down something isn't right. Mental health is real, and for the most part, it's invisible. Don't ignore the signs, even if they may seem small. Our lives have changed forever, and this will never be okay, but God needed my baby more than he was needed here. This has to be the biggest pill our families have had to swallow, but I know the love and compassion in our families will get us through. This will never get easier, but we'll learn to live with it. Check on your kids' mental. All right, what are you all's thoughts before I give mine?
Mm-mm. Go for it.
There's a lot really to unpack here. And again,
Yeah.
this is just sort of kind of like my not sort of kind of like this is my opinion. Yes, I know sometimes, and I'm just speaking from a father's perspective, and having had to learn how to be one. There are a lot of times when we're not taught how to be one, we carry it over when we become one. It's a challenge not wanting to be what you didn't have or what you were taught in terms of if your father was present versus having a presence. The difference in particular is when having a presence, because that is critical, what exactly it is that you are presenting. Now, I'm not speaking one way or another against his dad, but I talk to my sons in particular all the time. You know what I mean? But a lot of parents I've seen have a difficult time trying to separate that line between parent and friend, if you would. Or they're so busy giving their children what they didn't have, they fail to give them what they did, and that's adversity and so on and so forth. But I'm all for it that mental health is a thing. But we've been taught growing up, and I'm not making this a profiling racial thing. I'm not, but I'm just telling you in how we grew up. We were taught to not express our feelings. You understand what I'm saying? Anything other than that, or that is less manly, or whatever the case may be. But we're seeing here now in the advent of social media and such that, everything is being expressed. You know what I mean? Tyrese, if I'm not mistaken, came out, I don't know, what was that, a year ago now, maybe, with the divorce of his wife or whatever, you know what I mean? About, letting it all out, so to speak. I'm not in agreement with that. Again, for my fathers out there, have a presence, because this man is he 100 on that. How can you say you love somebody, but not be, you don't want to be intrusive either, because they get to a stage and age where they're old enough to make informed decisions, type of deal. They have to. We all got to learn life on our own. You know what I mean? And I just cannot imagine what it was like. And I don't know the whole backstory about the young man when he hit an elderly person and killed him, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And having to be faced with that moment that changed the course of your life forever. I had that moment. There are levels to it. There are. I had that moment, and I'll share this with folks, but I'm not going to go into no details. But I was incarcerated. I did 5.5 years. If you all seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, I was at Shawshank for a minute until, because of my age, I was 18 at the time. I got sent to a place that was actually a little bit more rockers with a bunch of guys my age. Mansfield had a lot of older guys, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of murderers and stuff in there, And the point the point of all this is, one of the things in talking to my sons in particular, is life choices. Whatever you're getting ready to do, stop and think. Will this make me a better person? Will this make my life better? Just give thought to what you're about to do before you do it, because peer pressure and all of that stuff still exists. you know, and we have to teach our children and convey to them in such a way that they are comfortable in their own skin, and what other people think or say ain't none of their business type of deal. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And that in and of itself too is a difficult task. But 5.5 years of a 5 to 25 year sentence, you know, following the crowd. Don't be that one. Be the one that the crowd want to gravitate to. I couldn't imagine though what that young man was going through, knowing that he was getting ready to go to court or whatever it is, because just the idea of a life is now gone because of me type of deal. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And it's unfortunate to have that moment, but I had that moment my first night in prison. Like, I'm the reason why I'm here. I'm the reason why I'm here. And to wrap it all up, my message to anybody listening right now, my grandfather used to say, live your life like a week. I said, what you mean, Gramps? He said, literally, live your life like a week. He said, when you get to Wednesday, you got to step out. And the first thing you have to do is hold yourself accountable. You got to say, hey, listen. And if you know you're not right, just up, then you ain't got no, if you know you're not no better today, Wednesday, than you were Monday and Tuesday, why are you looking at Thursday? So as parents, we have to be able to allow our children to have those moments. But I'm in total agreement with him. We have to stay connected to him as well, if you love him.
Absolutely. And for those, right away, it's never too late to enter the picture. I know, regardless of the circumstances with the other party and everything else. So, just kind of starting there. And then additionally, despite the unfortunate circumstances around it, it allowed me to have a conversation, not just about Lacy, but more so what may have been going through his mind. Because something I talk about frequently is, to your point, and things we've seen on the show in the past, that Barbershop pointed out, which is from others that have made mistakes, which their advice at the time was something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, don't let 10 seconds decide the next 10 years. And
shout out.
So I'm also very much advocating about all of the pitfalls that are there and how everything can go right in a moment like that can be tumultuous on what it does to the psyche of an individual. We already have data that shows 3/4 of suicides are men in both the United States as well as Australia. And so there's already a lot of what I would say mental suffering across the board from that data alone. Now with this young man's future, and I know, again, we see the data points on how difficult it is, and especially myself mentioning this to a 14-year-old regularly about what percentage of players get to those levels. This gentleman did that and was likely going to the furthest opportunity possible.
Yeah, he was an NFL talent, no question.
100%.
Yeah, he was
100%.
an NFL talent, no question.
And so what I used this example for was to walk through what his mental may have felt like, stemming from the crash and knowing now I have to go pro. And then knowing I may have just cost myself a lot of money, or on top of it, I may have to end up in the USL or USFL or XFL, whatever they're calling it now. I may go undrafted and try to have to work my way up an hour span, and I may have jail time. So this may be multiple years of my life, which, again, I've worked so hard just to get my name in the hat. And now potentially all of that is for naught. Then you fast forward to this immediate circumstance that caused the tragedy.
Yeah.
Now I have a weapon. Depending on the state I'm in, that might be a minimum jail sentence. So now I'm not getting drafted at all. On top of that, I'm evading an arrest, pending arrest, because now I'm running because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's tragic, man.
And,
all the way around.
Unfortunately, yeah. So to make that decision, when you start throwing all those factors into a blender, into a very young mind, it really makes anyone that chews on that knows how tough that is and how difficult it would be to accept those terms. And so certainly I definitely want to emphasize, kind of what his dad said, because we don't know what again, that crash was over a year ago. Yes, the trial was about to start, but something didn't sit right with that kid. And unfortunately,
and I forgot about that part, because at the end of the day,
and if you read the statement from the attorney was like, wait a minute, he bumped somebody else that bumped into that guy. It wasn't him. So it was.
See, I did not know. That's why I said not knowing the details. So see, bruh,
that's why someone needed to speak to this kid. To me, this was all preventable, and it's really
that's the tough part, Double J. That's the part that I respectfully I have to disagree with you on. We do owe ourselves the when I say to ourselves as an individual, if you feel compelled to reach out to someone, to have a heart to make the attempt to reach out to someone that you are concerned about, that you love, that you care about, whether they are they have a history of having issues with their mental well-being or not, do that for yourself, because we all have an individual responsibility for the ones we love and we care about. The big, however, and the unfortunate, however, is we cannot do for ourselves what I imagine this father may be doing, thinking that, oh, if I had reached out, I would have been able to. If I had called him, then I would have been able to. Or if I had spoke with him, if I had read, then I would have been able to. We don't, unfortunately, have that much, has profound an effect on someone's made up mind as we think. And the unfortunate part about it is when things like this happen, we feel the thing that hurts the most is that those who ultimately choose this for themselves, they leave their loved ones thinking that they could have been saved when they've already made up their mind.
That's a good point. Hold that thought. Detroit fan man is weighing. He said the first accident was only in January 25th, not last year, right? I'm not sure.
No, it took place on December 17th.
Okay.
2024.
So, and you know what? To your point, Gully, that's a very, very interesting point, because when you say mind made up, right?
Right.
And my situation was nowhere near the level of this, okay? But I do feel to some degree it was in the ballpark. All I know is going from having my being responsible for my own freedom, you understand, being able to go outside, kick it, go hoop, go do all that stuff I was doing. And then I made a lifetime decision basically off a temporary, let me go do this.
Right.
Then the next thing I know, my whole thought process is about survival. Do you understand? I mean, I'm talking about, like, I went from, we all know life, to survive life, that's like a philosophical term, we get it, you know what I'm saying? And we all know that, we all got an expiration date, so to speak, not to lessen it or nothing like that, but we all, you thinking that's down the line, but right now you living in the moment. It's summertime, and you thinking about summertime. You understand what I'm trying to say? Then the next thing I know, I get sentenced. It's summertime, but I'm thinking about survival. I went from every moment kicking it, like, which girl I'm gonna talk to today, you know what I mean, have fun, to every moment being life or death.
Right.
And to know that every time you think about life and that life and death moment, the next thought is, I did this to myself.
Yeah.
And in that instance, to your thing about mind made up, I don't think anybody could have said, they could have tried, they could have said, because people who care gonna say something, man, come on, you could, but it wasn't gonna register. Because, bruh, the first night listen, if you ever seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, I'm telling y'all right now, that place is a real prison. And they just did an interview with the guy, Headley, who played the main correction officer. They did an interview with him and asked him, like, they were celebrating some 50 years since the movie or something or another. And they asked him about, like, would you go back to the place? Man, you should have seen his eyes, man. And he was like, no, bruh. You could feel the souls of people who had been in there in the 1800s. The first night I was in there, when they cut the lights out, you could put your hand in front of your face and you can't see your hand. And all you can hear are your thoughts. My whole life, from the time I could remember life up until that point, was a frame by frame movie. Like, how did I get here? And he said, let me take you back. You know the old Dr. Scrooge, not old doc, but the Dr. Scrooge. The Ghost of Christmas Past. That type of deal. They said, let me take you back. Man, bruh. There are no words in the English language and no language languageized, that's a word, on this earth that could describe the feeling I had in that moment.
Right.
All I'm saying to you all is I've had a moment, and I can't imagine what that young man, when in that moment where he realized somebody ain't here, because you see what I'm saying? Right. How does it just like just that boom, bro? That's a tough call. I'm grateful that I still had enough. I don't even know what you want to call it there to not want to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or to go that far? Well, I thought about my children and stuff too. Well, at the time I only had one. I did that went a long way too. You get what I'm trying to tell you?
Right.
But I don't know, man. I feel for the young man. I feel for his father. But I'm proud of his father for being able to say, though, as tragic as it is for him, that you won't ever get over it. But he believes in a higher power. And he said because of that, he'll be able to get through it. So I definitely commend him for that, man. But yeah, bro, I couldn't imagine what was going through that young man's mind before he pulled that trigger.
Right.
Because when they say your mentals, bruh, your mental can at some point, if it's downtrodden, it can blend itself or bleed over into your physical.
Yeah.
You don't want to do nothing. You ain't got no energy. Bruh, it ain't nothing. You can't, and when you can't to get out of that place in that space, bruh, it's like moving the mountain in the molehill. So again, man, my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his father and their family in general. As we say in Islam, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. From the cradle we come, until the grave we return. We're gonna take another break. When we come back, we're gonna get into some of this NFL talk. Don't go nowhere, because Bradley Beal, he ripping. As a matter of fact, he's Scotty tripping. Holla at your boy.
It's K Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Army Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report. My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report. Oh, you're Jay Nolly, you're watching the Shop Report. It's Max McKee, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man, works at Murphy Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shock Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Josh Soley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
This is Herman Harvey, former NFL offensive lineman with the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. And You're listening to The Shop Report.
Sorry, I hit the button prematurely a little bit there. Detroit fan man is over here. He cracking me up, man. This is what he said here. He said, how about that former Tennessee quarterback hustling his way, maybe out of a few millions? Tennessee quarterback is easier than spelling out Nico's last name. Eli Ava or something like that. Don't even. I'm not gonna even.
I'm a leave a few million.
I'm a leave. Well, then that's you already left us. Then when somebody see you, oh man, this is what you do. Anywho, yeah, you know what? I was gonna talk about that, man, but I'm gonna say this right quick. I'm all for the portal, and I'm all for NIL and all of that other stuff that come with it. I do think that there should be some sort of regulation, like there is with anything and everything else in this country. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, or cap or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, bruh, I mean, come on now. Everybody, this is the part of that everybody want a participation trophy. All right. You want $4 million, but you really ain't did nothing to earn $4. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Now I get it. You know what I mean? But there needs to be regulation because there are going to be players who abuse it. You know, sure. I say the same thing. I say the same thing about capitalism. It's all fair,
right?
So capitalism is a problem, bro. And what's right is right, and what's wrong need to be addressed. Okay.
Well, see, greedy capitalism, but greedy capitalism doesn't exist. What I mean by that is,
yes, do.
No. What I mean by that is,
don't look at the sky when you get ready to lie.
What I mean by that is, greedy capitalism ain't capitalism. It's another form. It's another term.
Okay, well then what is? See, don't.
It gotta be because.
So hold on, wait.
No,
because hold on. Our Grammarly moment. Are we having Grammarly moments? Is that what we're doing?
No, what I'm saying is, I'm saying philosophically, got to be something different because it's just like this. It's just like if we take it to another subject, right? We talk about masculinity, and when we hear about masculinity, we hear about toxic masculinity. That is people describing traits.
Right.
People describing aggressive traits attributed to them to masculinity when they ain't nothing, when they can be further from it.
Okay, all right, well, all right, well, okay, well, you know, that's what we do here. You know what I'm saying?
So
context is key,
right? So creating rules and stopgaps preemptively, I think would have been a disservice because we need to see just how the thing will be. We need to see how it will evolve or see how it grow. For example, if you're raising a child and your child ain't apt to going outside, your child more as a homebody, you're not going to put a whole bunch of preemptive measures to make them safe to go outside if they're not naturally inclined to be outside. Some children aren't, you putting stuff on the grass, they don't want to touch grass. However,
but that's just, well, you're talking to me. So okay. Then let me be quiet. So my kids going outside.
No. What I'm saying is, all right, some kids don't like the touch, don't like the sensation of grass.
I know. I've seen babies.
Yeah, they won't touch grass for no reason, right?
Yeah.
So safeguarding the grass is a bit much because they ain't gonna go.
Yeah, it's overkill. Yeah,
at the expense of you budging and putting stuff all over the grass, make sure they're good, but they like to climb the fences and all that. You're not protecting it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then so they climb up ladders and fall on their face. So you know what I mean? My point is, now that the portal is here and we see the behavior and we monitor the behavior, for the sake of, dare I say, for the sake of some of the programs, because the programs are the programs. Everybody still got their roll tide and everybody love to be a volunteer, whatever else. So the programs do need some type of preservation or what have you, because these are the things that gravitate fan bases to it, right? And also the interest overall of the players and the mentorship of the players to understand you can't bounce to any other situation throughout life, just like you trying to do in this portal in 4 years when you haven't established and proven yourself.
Yeah. Ooh,
you can try to go from job to job to job if you want to, but if you haven't at least stood at a job long enough to make an impression upon that role or position, you shopping your resume 3 and 4, every 18 months with no real credentials earned or gained is foolhardy on your part. And it's going to keep you in a cycle of, you're never going to
flux.
Yeah, you're never gonna grow up.
Influx.
You're never going to right, exactly. And that's what we're seeing. What we're seeing now is I don't like my situation. And now
hold that thought. Can I just interject something right here for all them people out there who they got legal adults, you know what I mean, 18 and in between the 18 and 23, 4 range. Your age don't make you grown, but they are old enough to make informed decisions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Detroit fan man is weighing in right quick. He said, "I'm with Gully." I'm not surprised. This is a don't hate the player, hate the game situation. The kid is free to gamble, even if it looks bad. He followed rules, and even if he loses money, he is still free to try.
He's still free to try. Right. So, yeah, and that's the same argument we had about Kyrie requesting the trade from the Cavs to Boston. He earned the right for him to give him to try himself as being that team leader, that anchor. Right. But
listen, hold on now. If we basing anything that we ever say here on this platform on anything, let's say theological, biblical, you know thyself.
Correct.
If you and know thy worth.
Right.
But if you know you can't, what did Ice Cube say about you can't put in F type work and then think you're gonna get an A+ grade. You get what I'm trying to tell you? This guy, I've seen him play a time or two, but he didn't jump off the screen to me.
Right.
He didn't jump off the screen to me, so I'm just saying. I ain't mad at you getting a couple of dollars and whatnot, but I mean, come on, man, don't be ridiculous. Okay, don't be Jamarcus Russell. All right, don't let us send you home with the tapes and they blank tapes that you talking about. You was doing film study.
Right. Like what did Tennessee not provide for you? You saying you wanted more money, more money,
right?
More money. So where are you going to get what you think you're valued at? And understand you're talking about Tennessee, you're talking about a program that's in a Power 2 conference, because there ain't but 2 conferences out there anymore. So you're going to have primetime exposure, which will increase your marketability at the pro level, at the future level, and if you about becoming an athlete.
For sure.
Right.
For
and
sure,
if you're about
Detroit,
becoming
man.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, right? And if you're about becoming an athlete, if you're about the athletic pursuit, you want to have exposure where the lights are the brightest and the pressure is the thickest. You know what I'm saying? So where are you gonna do that now that you've shown on a primetime level that you want to leave? Because I don't think Tennessee made it inhospitable for you.
Yeah, stability in life is not gender specific.
Yeah.
Okay, we all get to a point in stage and age in our lives where you got to be grown up.
Yeah.
Okay, you know better. That's all I'm saying. And I'm with you for asking for some dollars, but let's be realistic about the whole thing. Because Double J, hold your thought. Let me just throw this out here. You can say what you say, then you answer. Y'all can answer after this. Are there going to be teams now who be like, you know what, we don't want to deal with that?
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
Yes.
Because however this thing goes, it's just a lot of people watching to see how this goes. Right. Players, front offices, universities, whatever.
Well, one of the things too that have to be established.
Gully, let that young man right there speak. The guy who fades to black constantly, because we don't get him on screen all the time. So we got to get him when we got to get what he's saying when we can't. See what I'm saying? That right there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Catch
me. What's up?
Oh, GL, what it do, baby? Sleepy G.
What I do to you, man? What I do to you, man? We're back, man. Shots fired for me. I appreciate you.
Well, I'm glad somebody else. Actually, ping ping. Yeah, I'm John Morant.
Oh no.
Yeah, speaking of which,
here's what I can tell you.
Mind.
Here's what I can tell you.
Let Double J GG
Let him finish.
Okay, well,
Let him cook.
All right.
What it should.
How he cooking with no flame? Okay, my bad. I'm done. Go ahead. Hey, listen, you leaning all forward into the camera like you type of Denzel. You ain't no equalizer. Man, nobody's scared of you. You gonna lean forward in the camera like until you twice.
You don't need a flame all the time to cook. And this ain't a microwave situation.
Okay, on
Bars.
that note, oh man, please bar soap. If that's what it was. Bars. Oh man, y'all kill me. Y'all was so buddy up again, but it's cool though. I can handle it. Go ahead. What was you gonna say? Go ahead, let him cook.
So the goose and the gander, right? Now the college coaches and administrations are reaping exactly what they've sown for decades of coaches being able to leave programs at a whim and leave players who they recruited in flux.
Yeah, well,
so now that we see that when we allow players to move and behave the same way coaches do, we see it as utter chaos. So maybe for example, if we want to even the playing field.
Mrs. Alva weighs in right quick. It's cute because Gully's face was like, "Dad, not the dad joke." Yeah, you know what? We're gonna need somebody close the cabinet over there at that house. Man, she tossing them back.
Please, we're gonna have to do a sobriety test. Look, he in the cabinet now, Double J. He in the cabinet now.
Yeah, that's why he ain't on the screen.
Right.
They over there. Hey, you know how married couples do when they lock their arms, right?
Yeah,
they're over there, intertwined. Oh, stop it. Go get a room. Anyway, go ahead, Gully.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is now that we see that players move, well, first of all, young minds are moving similar to the coaches, but because young, we're probably a bit more, let's say, a bit more reckless in the sense, for lack of a better word, we're a bit more random and chaotic with the same behavior. Now we recognize how volatile it is, allowing coaches to be able to move from job to job to job on a whim. You want us to be a team.
Well, the vitriol is not the same.
I know the vitriol isn't the same.
Not.
However, the chaos,
that's by design too, though. But go ahead.
So what we're saying is, now that we see that players are moving the way coaches move, we see how troubling it is when coaches do that. Like I say, you recruit me.
Yeah, it shares more light by default. It shares more light on when coaches do it. Yeah.
So now coaches should not have been able to move in the same way when we're talking about the collegiate level, because these are young minds and student athletes or whatever book they want to use to
because when y'all do that, y'all adding to the confusion of the young minds.
Exactly. So
but then want to criticize the young mind for doing the same thing you did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you got to be able to forfeit some of that and not take this job, or you got to be able to have measures by which stability is somehow preserved for said school, even with allowing all parties to be able to freely exercise their right to be able to change their scenery. Okay. That's what I'm getting at. Like, now that we see how this plays out, now we can kind of protect and preserve, what it is that they want to showcase at the collegiate level, right? So that way, players can move the way they need to move. Players can make their decisions to transfer, to go enter portal, what have you. Players can get endorsements for their name, image, and likeness, because we are filling the stands, filling the seats. We are helping to advance the time-honored tradition of the Ohio State University or the Alabama University or the Georgia, you know what I mean? But at the same time, protect and provide stability for it. That's what I'm saying. So they'll figure it. I think they'll be able to figure that out.
Double J, what rules? Are you still with us?
Yes.
Put the glass down and let us know what you think.
Say, look at this. I'm about to.
Well, all right. So there's a few things to consider. He was doing this,
and then now you disappear. You know what? Okay.
There were rumblings of this before the playoff game that he was already trying to negotiate the number. Then, obviously, the journalist that ultimately reported the article actually reached out to his dad before he released it. And his dad told him to lose his number.
Whoa. Run that by me one more again. What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. So the student Nico was trying to trying to negotiate a higher pay via his NIL deal once the team had qualified for the college football playoff. In addition to that, he considered actually opting out because of a deal not being done. Of course, so yeah, Tennessee went and got whooped by Ohio State. How much of that was a locker room issue? I'm not going to give them enough credit for that. I'll give the national champions credit where credit's due.
But listen, hold up. Speaking of which, cannot stand the Ohio State Buckeye football team, especially. But we had a program here, and I did say that remember we did the show? I said they have won every inaugural championship, BCS, whatever it is.
Yeah, every time it expands, Ohio State
every time it expands, they always win the first one.
So I think they should expand it to 14 teams next year.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Go ahead, Double J.
And so, you had that going on. In addition to it, obviously,
like we got this going on over here.
See, you got to point to the right direction.
I did the right direction.
Are you sure? You pointing to your wall?
Okay, my bad. My bad. Go ahead, Double J.
Yeah. So again, with the spring game coming up, now of course it's passed. He was apparently leveraging that deal, having conversations with other staffs, trying to negotiate that figure. At which point, that's when the article was going to get released. The father of the student said, to the journalist to lose his number. And of course, he dropped the article. At that point, Tennessee was already ready to move on. From what I understand, on the NIL side, it was really difficult. That part is always going to come out, right? The kind of character assassination, like he was a nightmare to work with and that type of thing. Sure. So take that part with a grain of salt.
You got to paint a picture now.
Sure.
Malcontent.
But from what I understand now, as I told you guys in the Discord, I fully expected them to make an example out of this kid. This is what happens where it can go wrong. And, yes, betting on yourself, but this is why you got to have the right people in your corner too. I'm going to say this. Look,
you got to have
the most people transfer out that I've ever seen. Now, we just got some fantastic people coming in, but when one goes from I'm really happy to now all of a sudden I'm less happy and I'm going to show up with the point guard to help win his award, even though I've committed to somewhere else, you realized it was transactional. And so you do.
But it's always college football, college sports periods have always been transactional. It's just that it's now legal.
Well, and here's the thing, Carson Beck, Miami, I don't know why their coach decided to say this is out of control when they just gave Carson Beck $4 million. Basically what the dude was asking for.
Yeah. I mean,
and he looked better than Carson Beck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Congratulations what he's doing on and off the field.
I'm not don't you say that as you implying that I'm still a Canes fan. I'm not. Okay.
No.
Yeah, my days of being a Canes fan are done. Anywho, all I got to say is, they need to make an example out of this and let this be the precedent. Like Ed O'Bannon set a precedent. There's just a lot of precedents being set today in the world of college sports in period. So, all I can say to that is stay tuned. We're going to take a 20-second commercial break. That's right, because I need a 20 after that one. When we get back, we're going to talk about these NBA playoffs, something Bradley Beal said, and I see why he on the same team currently with Devin Booker, because he said something crazy too. We'll be right back. Don't you touch it. All right, we back. I wanted to throw that comment up there right quick. Detroit Fan Man says, JJ for the win here. Dad pushed these negotiations and crapped out. And after this kid, all players need playoff bonuses in their contracts. Oh, now I never thought about that. Let's call them Nico terms to commemorate the failure. Man, he going hard in the paint. You know what I'm saying? See what happened when you ain't on no Lucia? He rapid fire today. Detroit fan man, baby. Well, I mean, what you say to that, Gully? I'm not gonna argue that one.
No. This is what happened. This is what happens. But this is part of what the game is, right? This is what the environment is in the professional level. So you learn who do you have in your agent. You learn how and when to listen to your parents and when to have professionals that may have your best interests in mind to negotiate on your behalf or to do it yourself, like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, but you know what, too? A lot of people think the first part of what you said, like, this is where we are. This is where we are now. Okay, I'm a realist. This is where we are now. But they say that as if to suggest or imply that because this is where we are now, that discipline has no place, or decorum or tact or integrity, like those things should be dismissed because this is where we at today. I had a dude tell me different situation, but the same premise. Dude tell me, man, well, kids today is different. That don't mean you ain't got to do the dishes.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, okay, so I got a dishwasher. That's cool, but guess what? You finna help the dishwasher help you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not about to just pile the plates in the sink and then throw them in. No. You're gonna get you a little scrubber. Yep. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Otherwise, you can go stay with your Uncle Willie, the dude who still wear tube socks all the way up to his neck.
Hey, the higher the socks, the downer the foo.
Hey, I wore Chuck. Hey, bro, I still wear Chuck Taylors. Don't play with me. Anywho, let's get into some of this NBA playoff, play in, play out, player type talk. We started off, you understand me? Bradley Beal.
Oh, man.
Bradley Beal reportedly took offense. Is offense spelled correctly in this case?
Yes, because this is an international.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. Like defense with a NCE type of deal. Okay, got you. Bradley Beal reportedly took offense when Mike Budenholzer told him to play like Drew Holiday.
The now former coach of.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, stop stealing my lines. Don't ever disrespect me like that. Don't ever tell me to play like another player. Is there something in Phoenix? Because Devin Booker sort of said something ridiculous too one time in the open run that we don't do doubles. Like, huh? Don't be double teaming, huh?
Yeah.
Ain't practice where you throw everything. So in the game, anyway, I'm just saying, this sounds like prima donna right here. They want more, but they want to do less. Even if Budenholzer said, play like Drew Holiday.
Right.
Bill, it was a message in there. He, you know what I'm saying? He looked at the Hellcat because it looked fast and it sound fast. He thought it was fast. No, he's open up the hood. All right. Man, stop doing that. Anyway, open up the hood. In this case, and you see that what he's telling you is play some defense. Because for real, if Bradley Beal if his offense is not on that night, what else is he giving you? And since we play so much stock in where a guy was picked and when, he was selected? I don't care the year, but what was his selection? Was what?
Well, he went in the first round.
Oh, okay. He went in the first round. So he was a first round pick.
Right.
Okay. So there's a level of a certain type expectation that go along with being a first round pick, right?
Right.
Even more so if you were in the top 5, right? Top 10, so on and so forth, right?
Right.
Okay. Play some defense, bro. When has he ever? Detroit fan, man, I'm gonna need you to take a spin on the Autobahn, right? And that latest V-Dub GLI. That's what I'm gonna need to do with 6 on the floor. You understand me? That's what I'm gonna need you to do. Yeah. That's what I do in mine. I mean, I ain't on the Autobahn, but you couldn't tell the difference. 120, baby. The GTI. I got a Mark 7. That's right. 6 on the floor. Yeah. Anyway, don't get me started. You know what I mean? I'm a racer right here. Racer J. I'm the only person to beat Speed Racer. The only one. Let it be known. That's right. Google me. Anyway, what's y'all's thoughts on what Bradley Beal talk about right here?
You know, this is the reason why this team is so frustratingly terrible. I mean, I looked at their record. They're 36-46 with all that talent. No one, I don't think.
But
no
here
one
we
got,
go again. Here we go again.
All
I
that
like
talent.
but I like what you did there, right? I like what you did there because you do this to bait me. Talking about with all that talent. So they're not complimentary.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you was going to use the other C word.
What?
Man.
I'm just saying. They're competitive. They're combative, actually.
Oh, okay.
To one another.
Yeah, Double J, what you say? Because we got to get ready to start wrapping things up here because Gully getting sleepy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't Sleepy G, baby. Like
you
Kenny
put me
G.
out there like that. You put me out there like that.
Bro, you do it to me every minute.
You put me out there.
What you talking about, bro?
Let's go. All
man,
right,
please.
All right.
Oh, man, stop it, bro. You do it to me with regularity. What you say, Jay?
Well, this is where the players clearly have a little bit of a higher voice than the coaches, clearly, right? I mean, that's not even debatable at this point. The sad part is your team
winning coaches getting fired is a norm,
right? So unfortunately, when a player is going to check his coach when he's not saying something derogatory, which this was not. He was actually, again, telling him something specific about his game, how he plays the game itself. One thing about Holiday versus Beal is one is a champion, the other one is not.
A two-time champion.
And
don't do that.
You
though.
can't
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, we know. Don't do that though. The champion thing. Yeah, we get it.
Especially under this context, because it would be like, don't compare me to him. What? No, well, we should. And we should start with he's a winner and you're not.
Okay, yeah. Like yeah. Because you can't beat Drew Holiday literally, but do what he did.
If
you want what he got, do what he did.
The Milwaukee Bucks were falling short prior to his arrival in the role and impact that he had. That's what he was asking for him to fulfill.
Okay.
And if he could have got his ego out of his way, then he would have possibly seen that and at least had a sliver of hope that their season would have ended differently. But again, give me $100 million and I'm probably on my Kanye too. I don't know.
Well, give you $100 and you don't need cognac. Hey, but anyway, at the end of the day, man, what did they say about money? It just emphasizes who you really are.
Yeah, don't make who you are enhances who you are.
Right. Because at the end of the day, bro, if you love the game, the money is icing on the cake.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna stop competing against you because I'm making 400 million. No, bro. I still want. Listen, you all know that bragging rights on the hoop circuit, and it's all started from the blacktop. We can go back to the Rucker and Foster Park, New York. Shout out to him. You understand me? In a lot of cases, at least on the hoop side, sports and period. Man, that's your currency. Now, ain't nobody don't nobody not want to be financially comfortable. You get what I'm trying to tell you?
Right.
But your hoop, whether or not if you had game, bro, that carry more weight than what. Okay, yeah, he rolled up because there was some guys in the hood that they rolled up. They was doing what they do. I grew up in the '80s now. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Ronald Reagan came out with a slogan talking about some just say no to drugs. It was a big thing back then. So it was,
say no.
Yeah, they probably wasn't making millions. Okay, but they was well off. Man, they pulled up to they kept a pair of shoes in the trunk. What you talking about? And we got it was some Walt Williams, Roy Tarpley type action jumping off. Trying to say some Charles Oakley, Roy Henson. You know what I'm saying? Nate Thurman type. What you talking about? What you want to do? What you want to? And it went straight to, white men can't jump type of scenes. I'm going to cut you. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Then nobody care about how many coins you had, bro. You know what I'm saying? You come out here on the blacktop, bro. You get a bad reputation, bro. And you can have all the money that I ever seen. And they be like, man, get out of here, man. Nobody wants your money, man. Go spend some of that money and get your jumper fixed. I'm just trying to say, bro. I mean, hey, man. You know what I mean? It's your game to do the talking, bro. The love for it is gone, man. Because tell me, how does money make the situation so it's irrespective of focus on the craft? I'm asking. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, in other words,
what you said.
Yeah, I'm giving that button like, yeah, it was a tongue twister. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. E40. How is money
okay?
Or how does money make the situation irrespective of your focus on craft?
How do money distract you? Well, it does. Clearly, it does. When you see you've made it and you already have enough, and you lose.
But how do it take away that love for? I want to bust your.
Because
you ain't had no love for it from the beginning. Then,
well, you may have lost it. You may have lost your love for it, right? Right? People listen.
Really?
Think about it in terms of in a marriage. Sometimes people get older, they 20, 25 years in, they just grow apart, and it's like, I'm not feeling this no more. And they're like, I'm not feeling this no more. It was good, but let's go ahead and do something.
I don't know.
Different.
Double J, should we let him in? Should we let him have that one? I don't know. That was a nice analogy, but I don't.
No, because some players still have it. So see, everybody can't be Kobe. Listen, barbershop. Everybody's not Kobe Bryant.
I didn't say that.
Even some of our it has to be said.
Well, show me who Vernon Max. Show me the Vernon Maxwell. Then
even some of our favorites, let's say in terms of how they play, they may not have that type of ultimate, undying, insatiable appetite for the craft or the sport that we love, right? So,
I'm not even talking about the Kobe Bryants. I'm talking about the Kevin Johnsons. I'm talking about the Rod Stricklands. I'm talking about the Baron Davises. I'm talking about the Vernon Maxwells. What about them? I'm talking about the Randolph Childresses.
Yeah.
What about them dudes? You ain't always got to be marquee. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's
Mark
fair.
Jackson, Rick Smits, Drazen Petrovic, Barbershop J. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. I got it. I was on the road, boy. I was on the road. Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Come on, man. I just said Roy Tarpley, Andre Miller. Show me a time when Vinnie Johnson, Andrew Toney, who Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics, you know what I'm saying, the quartet, labeled him as the Boston Strangler. Show me a time when them guys didn't want to knock your teeth out, bruh.
Right. Well, it's not better, but it is a different game and a different dynamic. There are fewer of those guys.
I'm glad you prefaced that before you said
that. It has changed. Now, here's what I say.
For the better or for the worse?
I said it has changed.
Oh, okay.
Here's what I will say though.
Here's like that.
Here's what I'm willing to offer. Tell me where the big effort guys that challenge, tell me where they are not thriving still, or where they're not winning still. Like, tell me, like a guy like Draymond Green, tell me how he still isn't beneficial to a team, to a franchise, to a dynasty, because he has that type of competitive nature when he's inside the court that you're talking about.
I couldn't, but I can ask this too. Why is it that when we turn the TV on, seeing that type of guys like seeing Bigfoot? Or the Loch Ness,
because it's still, but that's what I'm saying. Because guys with that type of appetite,
nothing.
No, I'm not, bro. You taking shots at me, and I'm agreeing with you.
No, I got you. No, I don't care. I take shots regardless.
What I'm saying
this is what I do.
They are still continuing to win. They're still integral to championships, to dynasties, to franchises being able to have winning cultures. And despite that, you see a whole lot of it's just basketball. So while it is just bad, it is entertainment. Approaching it like a professional wrestler would approach it. Shout out to the Turnbuckle on Mondays after Raw. Tune in to a
but that's another thing too, man. It's entertainment. That is so
listen to
ambiguous.
me.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying when I hear that because
what I'm saying is
entertainment. But what is it that you find entertaining? And is what you find entertaining, if it lacks substance, how's that entertainment?
Right. So listen, what I'm telling you is from a avid professional wrestling fan, recognizing that professional wrestling requires or is asking of its fan base to suspend disbelief for a moment to watch these guys perform as if it's real. And in which case,
but you can't ask me to suspend for a moment disbelief when we talking about the monies that these guys getting. These guys getting $200-300 some million daggone dollars and low managing, bro.
But you're not okay. I'm not making my point clear enough for you.
Okay.
When I watch
take me to school then.
So when I watch a professional wrestling match, these are two combatants. They're at odds with each other, competing with each other.
Right. But it's supposed to be organic, not manufactured.
No.
Wrestling manufactures the opposition.
No.
Man, Triple H didn't.
That's not where I'm going.
Well.
Yes, and they do oftentimes hate each other.
No, they don't,
yes,
bro. I'm not buying it. I ain't buying it.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
This ain't the turnbuckle. Look at you. Now you walk.
Why don't you do this? What? Why don't you do this? Why don't you write out on your scribe and chisel, okay? Edge, Christian, Lita. No, I'm sorry. Edge, Matt Hardy, Lita. Write those three names down. Take them to your Googles and tell me, and then come back to me and tell me what you said.
Okay, I will.
Right. Yeah. Edge,
gonna
Matt
try to
Hardy,
tell me.
Lita. Okay.
Okay.
My point is, it requires or is asking of its audience to suspend disbelief for a moment to have these two guys who actually could not be friends or what have you, to believe that they're in conflict with one another, and that what they're doing against one another, inflicting pain, punishment, or what have you, in the attempt to win a competition. We're asking to believe it's real. They're asking the fans to believe that the Undertaker is a dead man who's immortal and still buys his time and stalks the ring, if you will, collecting the souls, if you will, for the dark side, right? I say all that to say, professional wrestling can have you believe or ask you to believe that the conflict is real, even though these guys are making tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. At least in the NBA, you can have, irrespective of the amount of money you get in, you can have that same suspension of disbelief and to the point where you can be competitive with one another. Like when you talk about all those players from the 80s and 90s, you talk about Vernon Maxwell and Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson, who were best friends off the court, but when they had on a Pistons jersey and the Lakers jersey, they didn't like each other. War. It was all out war. That can still happen. Both two ideas are mutually
can exist in the same space.
Yes,
you mean players getting paid an exorbitant amount of money
and still
coming out there? Yeah,
correct. Because we see the guys that still maintain that competitive nature. Typically,
we don't see enough of them, though. Is my point.
Unless you're Chris Paul, guys with that fire tend to still win at the highest level.
Wait, well, you taking a dig at Chris Paul?
No, it's because he's one of those Hall of Greats where, man, why didn't he win one? You know, we can go back to the
because he kept the playoffs.
But I'm saying, but he has the ability and the tenacity and the attitude of a portion on the court that should garner success at the highest level.
Yeah, well, maybe he should have stayed off the banana boats too. I'm just saying, you know, he might last long in the playoffs. Anyway, let's get to the playoff bracket. Coming to the stage. I'm just saying. What'd you do that for? All right, man. The NBA
you sound like a kid. What'd you do that for? I'm telling my mommy. You a host. You have some.
Yeah, you so disrespectful. And on a Wednesday. Imagine that. Here go the brackets here. Double J. Would you walk us through the play-in right quick?
Absolutely. It is
now you want to be here.
You had him pull up the bracket, so he was here all along.
The bracket was here before he got here. Don't
Who put it
jump
on
in
the
that.
screen then? Thank you, Double J.
Yeah, and to finish that off, my buddy and me like to climb up a tree. Y'all buddies today, huh? Ain't nobody. Man, take me through the play in.
I tell you what,
This
you
dude
about to
right
have,
here.
Tell you what, you better count how many teeth you got. You about to have a few short.
Hey, I'm already short. I got 5 left, 3 in my mouth and 2 in my pocket. So you ain't gonna do nothing that ain't already. It's already done. I'm done, bro. I'm over the hill and down the road. So whatever you said about me, I'm trying to say, hey, listen, it ain't what they call you is what you answer to. Go ahead, Double J. Walk us through the play in.
All right. So in the
silence. What?
All right. So for the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat were victorious in Chicago this evening. And that implies that the bowl season is over. And they will be playing the loser of yesterday's game between Orlando and Atlanta. And that was, of course, the Atlanta Hawks. So we will see Miami versus Atlanta.
For the right to play the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Miami versus.
I apologize.
Miami.
It'll be the Chicago Bulls versus
Atlanta.
No, it can't be the Bulls versus Atlanta.
It'll be Miami versus Atlanta. Correct. And Orlando are already locked into the 7th.
Oh, okay. So I got you. So Orlando was the 7th seed of the play-in and still is the 7th seed because they
kept it. They preserved it.
Alrighty then. Okay.
However, that lackluster, that effort, that Bradley Beal type effort that Trae Young gave, they will be at home or in Cancun soon. If he does that.
Oh, shout out to Double J on the running side. Yeah. Way better than Gully. Gully was like, I laughed to see the cat in the hat, green eggs and ham. My name ain't Sam. Have a seat. Shout out to Double J, man. Bro, you see how it rolled off too, Gully? You better step your game up, bro. You slipping. You know what I'm saying? Slipping. Yeah, at the end of the day, I saw that Trae Young stuff, bro. Man, hey,
maybe he's over it, bro.
Oh, like you was just saying earlier, huh? Maybe he don't. Hey, if you don't love it, then you never loved it.
Well, what does this deal look like?
Nothing.
What does this deal look like, Double J? How much longer does
That's a great question. You know, it's interesting. If we would have at any point surveyed us.
Are you getting ready to say he getting ready to be on the move?
Well, if we would have said who would be more likely to get traded, Luka or Trae, right? Because that was the draft day trade.
Right.
Naturally, Trae Young would have, of course, been almost
Trae Young. Yeah, you would have thought Trae Young. But I mean, they listen. How long ago did I say this? The NBA need to just start implementing reversible jerseys because, for real, bro. Because there's too many star players. Superstar players.
That's why I don't even buy them. I said my rule for buying sports jerseys is
what are we looking at? Your rule for what?
My rule for buying sports jerseys, if I were to buy one, you know what I'm saying, for fashion or whatever, is the rule that I go by is retired players can't get traded.
Yeah. Double J, what are we looking at and why are we looking at this here?
So this is the team salary cap. Anybody want to explain the Jalen Johnson thing? What am I missing?
Wow. Good night.
Wait, this Atlanta?
Yeah.
How Jalen Johnson getting that?
Whoa.
Man, let me get him on the phone. I need to know.
Who is his agent?
I don't know, but
man. Email to Shop Report 365 and you let us know what
do we need to do? Yeah, bro. Because we'll come up with it, man. If you can get
Hey, does Drew Rosenhaus do both NBA and NFL players?
I don't believe so.
That's a Drew Rosenhaus move right there.
Wow, he got him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so based on
well, you know what? He did have a couple, but the
who got him that number?
That's a great question.
Okay, so we're looking at Trae Young's situation here. Who gonna want that though? How many years he got left on his deal? This is is that it right here? This is the final year of his whatever deal?
He's got 3 more. He's got 2 more seasons after this one. He's
okay,
got
so we looking.
Oh my gosh, you know who his agent is?
Who? You talking about Jalen Johnson
of Clutch Sports?
Who?
Lucas Newton from Clutch Sports Management.
Dang! Shout out to Lucas Newton. Look like Newton getting ready to form his own agency. Newton called Newton's Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gotta say.
Any deal I say will happen, man.
Man, you ain't lying.
All right.
Yeah, so Trae Young here.
Yeah, Trae Young again has a player option for that 3rd year. Again, we know the max money is at about 50 to 54. Gully, is that what we saw somewhere in that ballpark when it came to Joker and somebody on the Clippers as well?
Yeah.
So he could. I don't expect him necessarily to opt out of that deal. He's 26. Well, he could and negotiate for a max deal depending on where the team is at that point. But if you look, he's not going to have a lot of help around him based on that number.
But you know what? And speaking of Joker, right quick, like if you watch when he plays, he don't have no false sense of entitlement, man. Joker getting a nice piece of change too, right?
Yeah.
But when he go out there, bro, he balling. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's sweat under his brow.
That right. So is that a international player type thing?
Probably.
And the American player then got spoiled?
I won't go there that far.
You won't go there that far? Okay, all right.
Because
that's what it smell like.
No, because let me ask you a question. Are we in Lithuania?
That's why I asked you, what do you mean by that? I asked you,
we see Lithuania players on a day-to-day basis to understand that Joker isn't an exception versus he's the rule.
Stop it. I'm talking about him being over here right now based on what we've seen in the NBA.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
I'm asking that question. So my question still stands.
No, we don't see Lithuanian players in Serbia.
Right, so we don't know that they got Lithuanian players that they're just there for the check, to cash it in.
No. I ain't even talking about just for the check to cash it in. I'm talking about when you turn the TV on 9 times out of 8, you see Joker. Joker want to beat you.
But is that a case that Joker is just one of the exceptional?
Yeah, but you got.
I'm going to say no, because if you remember what they've referenced about why they feel like they're better and ready for the NBA.
I was going there when Luka came out and said what he said.
Why they're better and ready for the NBA?
Yeah.
See, like I said, like I've been saying, because we're about to get into that debate again. We hovering around it. I don't want to press the button. But what I will say though is it is high time to do the American versus international NBA All-Star game. It is high. There's enough international talent in NBA jersey uniforms that you can do that. You can, when you look at the All-Star game rosters.
Yes, in other words, you're saying it's just speculation until we actually see it.
Yeah, it's enough international talent named to All-Star on a regular basis that you can, if you can divide the teams up, and you don't split, and you could divide the teams up irrespective of conference based off of who you want to see play. Like if you could put a Steph Curry from Golden State with Giannis from Milwaukee on the All-Star team, if you can do that, I believe that there is enough international born talent that gets elected to the All-Star game anyway, that you can, within that All-Star game, select All-Star game talent pool, you can have an American international game. And I'm here for it. I'm saying, going back to how we got here a few moments ago, Joker is one of those guys who earns his check, even though it's a healthy check. What I'm saying is Joker might just be exceptional. I challenge rather, because we see the NBA, because
I don't know, man, because you have Manu, you got Luka.
You got those guys
defensively. But there's a lot more guys.
Even Wagner from Orlando has been.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. It's the attitude in which it's, to me, it seems like we taught them the game.
Okay.
And then too many of us, we sitting on our haunches.
So then why did
There's
Tony
no way in the world
coach,
Zion should be in no Wendy's drive-through. There should not be video footage of that.
So what's missing now? Is it truly
Wendy's.
the killer instinct in the love of the game, in that competitive nature?
It's the sensationalism. Most foreign players are not moved by sensationalism.
Okay.
A lot of American players now, they doing this. It's more about this, and you get what I'm trying to say. Give me that first, and it's about drama now, and Cardi B and Double C and Bobby J and all that old bull crap.
Can build a brand.
That's why. Listen, why do you think I call it brandsketball? Hello.
Right. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to shout out. What's his name here? Coach Barnes. He's a part of the UCSD staff. And he put out a video for recruiting tips today about you got to win, and that these athletes today they don't care about winning.
I know. For the same reason, me and my son was talking one time, this was a couple of years ago. Him and both my boys still play. And he said, Dad, I said, man, he showed me some footage that they took, say, Dad, what you think about this type of deal? And I said, man, what? I said, y'all don't play no D, man. He said, guys now are more concerned because of social media. They don't want to get crossed up. I said, bruh, sign me up. Sam, that's the problem, man.
I've always said this. The best defenders if you want to know the best defenders that I've ever seen, look on the basketball cards of some of the greatest dunkers. You're gonna find Tim Duncan getting posterized.
Exactly.
The King getting slammed on. And when you do that, that's how you'll know, okay, hold on, who's the guy doing this in the picture? Let me look him up. Then you come to find out, the reason why this card is special is because that was a DPOY. That's
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So you got to understand, of course, those moments can live forever, but the body of work which pays you and helps you and your family and your dreams come true forever comes into doing the dirty work. And sometimes you're on the wrong side of it. Listen, we call Chris Paul, I don't know if we say it on the show, but he's been commonly referenced as the point god, okay? We remember when Steph Curry had him doing
because I don't call him that.
I recognize that. I know
that. Right.
Don't.
Yeah. Okay. Got you.
But I say that for context of the audience because of how revered Chris Paul is.
Okay. Got you.
Overall, he is.
I'll call him banana boat growing. Oh, my bad. That's for another show. Sorry about that.
Lot of
I'm just
pause
because that's all he keep pulling. When he get in the playoffs, he pull his banana boat growing, and then next thing you know, he out of the playoffs.
Please, Cam and Mace, go get him. His name is Barbershop J. This
yeah,
guy,
well,
hold on, wait a minute, where he at? This, yeah, he
right,
said that.
Right, yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
The views and opinions expressed by this guy in the top left corner are by
pointing at me, bro. No, that way.
I'm pointing this way.
Point at you.
That
exactly.
Way.
You.
Way, right.
Exactly. Let's throw the black bracket back up.
Yeah.
Let's do that, man. This dude right here is ridiculous. Okay.
Banana boat, but man, I don't even want to repeat that. Can't believe you said that.
So
growing, not showing, something like.
Oh my goodness! So Miami is playing Atlanta, right?
Miami will meet Atlanta.
Okay, and then Orlando is facing off against Boston, right?
Yeah, Orlando is secured the 7th seed. They will be meeting Boston.
Okay, so let's stay right. Let's start here on the east side, but on the bottom. Boston, Orlando. Give me a series outcome.
Boston wins the series. I'm not giving you a number of games and scores. I ain't that dude. I am not Nostradamus. I'm not Negro Damas. I'm nobody's Damas.
Okay, Lorenzo Lamas. You know what I'm saying?
Give yourself a button, please.
I will. I sure will. Okay, then. Oh, then I got another question too. Yeah. Hey, man, I don't know, man. Paolo is playing like Bancaro.
Yeah,
Did you see the three amigos?
Whatever you said.
What?
Right, it's three amigos in green and white that got something to say for that.
Oh man, please. But I'm gonna tell you this: the Celtics, I know they're defending champions, but they'll shoot you in the game and shoot you out too.
I'll tell you what,
they can get got, bro.
Yeah, and if they meet the right 3 seed, if the Knicks
be the 3 seed. Oh man, the Knicks. We get into that. Hold on, we gonna get it.
They not losing to Detroit. I ain't about to hear.
Hey, bro.
Oh man, I'm not about to.
Hold on.
Oh, bro.
No,
hey,
no,
like Martin
no,
used to say,
no,
hold on, hold on.
I will pick it. I would go.
Well, can we stay with the 7?
Shannon Sharp, Player Hart.
Hey, did you just cuss?
Nixon.
Did you just cuss? Did you say what happened?
No,
what?
Not a shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's
Not
stay
a
with the
shot.
number 2. I said we're gonna get to.
Hello, this is the pot.
You know what?
Call it hot.
Let me hit you with some of this little holy water or something. Anyway, I think that 2-7 gonna be a little bit tougher than what folks might realize. Ain't no guarantees, bro. They still got to roll the ball out, bro.
So
you say that like you ain't never seen. Hold on, let me ask you this question.
How big is the potential for that 2-7? That's what I'm saying. How big?
First of all, I'm not looking at the seeded number. I'm just mentioning the seed number because they still got to roll the ball out. But let me ask you a question.
And it's Boston. It's the defending champs.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did we not ever see?
We've seen the AFC beat
Dirk Nowitzki when they was seeded number 1 lose to Golden State with Monta Ellis and Baron Davis and them. Did we not see that in your lifetime?
So
did we not see the Seattle SuperSonics lose to the Denver Nuggets?
So
with Robert
Pack. Boston Celtics team is that vulnerable?
No, I'm saying
all
anybody.
Right. That's what we're talking about.
I'm saying anybody can get got.
Anybody can get
Who expected, even with Dirk Nowitzki, for the Miami Heat cradle caps to lose to the Mavericks? Ain't no guarantees is all I'm saying, bro.
Any of those upsetted teams, yeah, that's a word. Upsetted teams. Any of those upsetted teams stronger than these Boston Celtics?
Were those other teams stronger than?
I'm telling you categorically they were not. They were categorically not complete.
Yes.
None of those teams that got upset were as complete as this Boston Celtics team.
The Seattle SuperSonics wasn't? Oh, man, you sound ridiculous right now, bro.
The Seattle SuperSonics, the 94
Dallas Mavericks wasn't?
The 07 Mavericks?
Bro, because you just mentioned seeding first. What were the Mavericks seeded at? What were the Mavericks seeded?
I asked you how complete were those teams compared to this Boston Celtics?
Well, how much more complete was the Miami Heat when they lost to them same Mavericks in 2011?
You didn't say that.
I did mention that.
You mentioned.
I did mention that, bro.
You said so. You saying the Heatles were a more?
No, I'm saying
going into. I'm
saying
talking about these Boston Celtics. I'm saying look at this roster. Look at the 2024-2025 Boston Celtics, and compare this roster to the teams that got upset. And yeah, you did mention the Miami Heat. Compare this roster to the teams you got upset. I would argue that perhaps only the Miami Heat was a better team than the Boston Celtics. All them other teams that got upset by 7s or worse were not as complete from
the SuperSonics, bro. Don't you disrespecting G. Payton and Sean Kemp and Detlef Shrimp.
Let's look at the tape. All right. Or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf has something to say. And Brian Williams versus So has something to say. And Dikembe had something to say about it.
Okay,
or maybe that 8 seed was really a 5 or a 4, and they just happened to have a bad week.
Oh, then why they get? Man, stop, bro, stop. There you go. That's no, absolutely not.
Wait. I'm jumping out the tree. You telling me the 8 seed that beat them out of SuperSonics wasn't really was actually a true 8, or they had a bad week and they failed? Matter of fact, let's look at the tape.
No, we ain't looking at nothing. We ain't looking at nothing because I got to go. I got to go.
No, you got to go sit right here.
Yeah, it's Metamucil time, bro. It's time for me to take my medication.
No, we doing this.
Okay, so let's.
We're doing it. No, we doing it, bro.
No, because we got to get through the other brackets, bro.
No, you jumping out the tree and you gonna say
something right here, man. I'm telling you. Listen, I ain't knocking your hustle. Don't knock mine. You said that the Celtics gonna win, flat out guarantee. Okay, Charles Barkley.
I said now competitive is one thing, but I'm telling you that the Celtics don't have to. The Celtics are going to win this first round matchup.
But you make it seem like that Orlando ain't even gonna show up.
I ain't say that.
And you also make it seem like the Celtics ain't got to show up.
It might go to 6. It probably can go to 6.
Okay.
It probably can go to 6. We just seen 6-game series that look like.
All right, Double J, who you got? I'm gonna roll the dice. You know me, I jump out the tree at 50,000 feet with no parachute. I'm saying Orlando.
You think they're gonna beat Boston like in the series?
Hey, man, listen, life is about
risk. You was all quiet and chummy with him. You was play
life
my buddy for you and Double J.
You
said, huh? But
I thought you meant like win a game or two. I just
Double J, come on out here with me now. Come on out here on this ledge. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that ice is a little too thin, bro.
Hey, don't worry about it. Yeah. So is my hair, so I'm already there. I'm just saying. Detroit fan man said, looks like the Metamucil gonna wait. Gully locked in, ain't sleepy no more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I had to do something to wake him up. Anyway. Yeah, all right. So y'all rolling with the Celtics. You know, the buddies are Celtics, and Jay by himself, Jay Solo is rolling with Orlando. Moving on and staying on the east side. The Knicks Pistons.
This is St. John's pick. This is the problem right here.
What?
He didn't learn nothing from that St. John's pick.
Who?
You.
Oh, yeah, of course not. Man, please. Hey, bro, I live life on the edge. I'm like Crocodile Dundee. No, that's a knife. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Bro, I live life on the edge. I don't play it safe like y'all do.
Hey, that was a good accent, bro. You should do that again.
Hey, no, I shouldn't.
Right,
I'm not here for entertainment. This ain't wrestling. I'm not here for entertainment.
It's all entertainment.
Hey, but Double J, let me explain something to you. Did you just say NASCAR?
I think he did.
Double J, did you just say, huh?
I thought you mentioned NASCAR, Double J.
Did you just say something about NASCAR? Crikey. Okay, well, anyway, crikey. Yeah, same difference. NASCAR, same difference. Anywho, y'all have to understand something, man. When you're talking to a person who used to be a former street racer, a guy who drives a stick shift, you know what I'm saying, dual overhead cams and all that type of stuff. Now, I'm not no stage 3 tune type, you know what I mean? But I know what stage 1 can do is what that's all I'm trying to tell you. I make my picks like I drive is what I'm trying to tell y'all. In and out, baby, in and out of traffic. You know what I'm saying? With no
like
seatbelt.
Quarter mile at a time.
Oh man, please, absolutely, babe. I'm turning 9s, boy. Don't play with me. Yeah, that quarter mile. The NASCAR is cool, but I can, if I kept going in a loop, I'll be loopy. You know what I mean? Give me Le Mans. Put me in that Shelby, that GT40, the new one. Yeah, put me in that. Right. Yeah. Cockpit. Yes. Give me the racing harness. I want the Hans device. I want everything. And I'm coming to get you. I'll be to see you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, you think
he was the extra for Too Fast, Too Furious for Tyrese.
Who was? It should have been me. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, Celtics. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Knicks, Pistons. Gully, since you have so much to say.
Oh yeah, please, by all means.
Let's continue.
Yeah. New York Knicks. The New York Knickerbockers are going to win that series. How? Because they're going to score more points in more games.
Oh my God, that was ridiculous. Really? Wow. Really?
But who?
Wow. Yeah. Look at it. Like, listen. No, don't hide. No, don't run now.
No, stay right here. Stay right here. Stay right here. Come on, get back on the.
Man, I'm telling you right now. Man, the Knicks
take the eye drops out your eye. Quit crying. Get back over here.
The Knicks are devoid, this current version, of 2 things. 1, toughness, and 2, rest. Okay? Yeah. Hey, Cade is coming. This is Cade Cunningham. You listen to the Shop Report. You ain't just here to see the commercial? I ridiculous yourself.
You listen, all season, you have taken great joy in slicing him up with even though he didn't gave us drop. And I done called you out on the Double J. All of a sudden, it's playoff time.
I thought you were talking about me because I was
you
listening.
You
no,
too.
don't do that.
Y'all
Absolutely not. No.
Cade Cunningham did a drop for us. And y'all been here. Cade ain't been Cunningham.
Double J, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Have I not been on Cade Cunningham? Remember you was going back and forth about 100%. Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey?
And as much as I've been with Imani, absolutely.
Hey, thank you. So don't do that right there. Hey, like King Nebuchadnezzar, this is biblical again. And the 3 boys, the moral of the story: if you're gonna sit. If you're gonna stand, but do not waver. Jay been taking this stance since day one, baby. Check the records, baby. You understand me?
Give me the Pistons in 6.
Absolutely. Whoa, wait a minute there. Slow down, King.
Well, they got to win in some game. What game?
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute there. Now hold the front. Wait a minute.
Oh, it's a best of 7. They're gonna win it in 3.
It's probably a best of 9.
About to go to the conference championship. And what telling me? Oh, the Pistons.
Oh, no.
No. That's what we said. Oh man, I'm saying Cavs better watch out. And if they meet the right team on the West, the Pistons are gonna win it all. That's what you said.
No, I ain't say that. None of that. I don't know. I don't know where you're getting all that from.
Oh, no.
Anyway, don't lie on me. Lie for me and not to me. Anywho, I'm picking the Knicks in 7. I'm sorry, excuse me, the Pistons in 7.
Nah,
I was gonna say, he did not just say all that and then do that.
Hey, listen, I was on the road, man. He made me mad. He made me mad, bro. He do this on purpose, bro. He made me salty, bro.
Hey, Detroit fan, man, you heard what he said.
Yeah, he made me mad, bro. He made me mad. Yeah. Okay, so they don't do that. I caught that. He made me mad. Nah. Anyway, I'm taking the Pistons. So you taking the Knicks? Detroit fan man said it's because Cade and the Pistons are in the new Drake track shopping spree. Drake got Cade's Crocs on again as the Pistons win in 6. Oh man, no man. Oh no, man!
His support. I don't know what nastiness he was doing in them things.
Oh man, who let Drake in the building, man? That dude is I'm not no superstitious type of. That dude is bad juju, bro. He bad juju. Oh, I forgot all about that picture too. Oh man,
why did you try to do like a Kobe in the after the second one in the locker room?
I don't know, but my message to him would be, hey man, just be yourself, bro. Everybody want to be somebody else because I guess the comparison thing, what I'm saying? He looked like the next, he remind me of, no, just let him be who he is. And stop not who y'all want him to be. Stop. My gosh. Oh, I forgot about Drake. Oh man. Double J. Might have to change my mind.
What?
That Drake thing, man, I don't like it, bro. He bad news, man. Every time he show up, man, people get blown out bad.
Well, the only thing that was getting blown out was somebody. Anyway, wait.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Wait. Whoa. Anyway. Slow down. So, here, let me help you out.
This is a playoff series.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, yeah. Now y'all see how I feel. Y'all see how I feel. Yeah.
You need to change your backdrop, Double J.
Yeah.
Mrs. Alva, you need to go into your corner of the house and do not come around.
Yes, do not. Do not go in there. Yeah. Get some after dark type of stuff.
Yeah.
So what were you saying now? What were you saying?
No. Don't ask him what you
look. He acknowledged that he stole the Crocs. All right. So I didn't interpret that as supporting of the team and the crimes he committed after with the Crocs. So he could keep them. And
so why would you? You know what? We're going to take another break right now. We're going to get y'all some Eddie G's cookies, baby. This is the full version of the Eddie G's cookies. That's right. Amazon.com. Place your order today. When we come back, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know why a guy like Drake is. What do they call it?
I don't. I want to know who's going to win the other series in the playoffs.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to take a break. What do they call somebody who's got to steal all the time?
Somebody who not picking the season playoffs.
Some type of kleptic or something like that.
Kleptomaniac?
Yeah. I don't know. Drake is a kleptomaniac. Anyway, we come right back. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
I tell you what he used to do.
I'm I'm Jordan Gudeman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Eddie G's Cookies. I was first diagnosed with a nut allergy when I was young. At the time, there weren't a lot of labeled items that said if there may contain nuts or there are nuts in the food, so my brother and sister and I baked a lot at home, and we enjoyed treats from mixes and things like that, but I noticed that it was not the same as what my friends were enjoying, and I started making my own recipes. When it was time to pick a career, I decided to start a bakery so I could share my treats with everybody else. When I started creating my recipe, I was taking in all the things that I thought I was missing out on. A soft, chewy center, a crisp outside crust, and a taste that is just like it came out of the oven at a bakery. When I put all those things together, I had come up with a recipe for a dream cookie. Eddie G's Cookies only uses the finest ingredients. We have all natural flavorings, no preservatives, and every cookie is made in a nut-free environment. The best part about Eddie G's Cookies is that they can be delivered right to your door. You can share them or not. We won't tell.
All right, we're back once again. Shout out to all of the people that stay with us, that are watching us currently on whatever platform that we are on, because I have no clue anymore. I'm an old guy, I tell you that. But again, if it was not for the people, there would be no us. So a shout out to the people. We appreciate it.
Shout out to the people that are watching us on MySpace, tuning in to us from Netscape Navigator.
See, that's a dig at me. You know,
hey, and if you got your AOL buddy list,
yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, hell no.
That's disrespectful. You're gonna quit disrespecting your Eldorinos. Yeah. So Gully, you going with the Knicks, right?
The New York Knickerbockers.
Okay, and Double J, we going with the Pistons.
Yep. Y'all.
You say 6, I say 7.
Yeah.
And it was somebody was leaving the thought. You want to finish the thought? Who was it that was leaving the thought? If it was Gully, I don't remember.
That was you about.
Don't do me like really. That's what we doing. Paige and Mrs. Allen. It's so disrespectful. You could let you know. I mean, you ain't had to.
Somebody was leaving a thought.
Well, what was I saying? Do you remember? Because I don't.
Ooh, boy,
I don't.
Why is Drake stealing shoes?
Oh yeah, thank you for the reminder. Yeah, that's. I mean,
you're trying to leave. You want to introduce Aubrey into a conversation.
Listen.
Knowing that I'm Team K-Dot, even though okay. I do give Drake a lot of respect. I find myself quoting or reciting some of them infamous lines from last year's battle between him and Kendrick.
That's only after you done had a few, so ain't nobody mad at you for that. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't know why he a kleptomaniac. Why you got to steal somebody's Croc? You ain't got enough money to buy some of your own Crocs? That's a Croc. Anywho, moving right along. The Pacers and the Bucks.
What y'all think?
Well, with no Dame, that Porter kid that was at once upon a time with the Cavs, like free Imani. Anyway,
literally,
because I don't know. I don't know.
Are now on the same page with this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Everybody else is jacking up threes. I mean, my gosh, Tyler Hero. We watched him on a fast break. 10 minutes ago? Nobody in front of him. Clear path to the basket. The closest guy behind him was 500 yards away, and he stops it anyway. If he can do it, then surely Imani can jack up a couple hundred.
All I'm going to say is he played 42 minutes against the Pacers, went 9 of 19 from the field, 7 of 15 from 3, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block.
Porter Jr.?
No, Imani Bates.
Oh, Imani. Oh. Well, that's par for the course. He should be playing.
Absolutely. There's no way.
Yeah.
And, again, I'd watched something a little earlier. Gully, I mentioned this to you before, that the individual was referring to the politics of the NBA as it pertains to volume of shots and that type of thing. And
yeah, remember we did it when we did a show about 20 something years ago. Adam Silver had already said something about about the amount of 3-pointers being taken.
Well, no, just on a per team basis, who gets, like, for example, I noticed like CJ McCollum was able to shoot 14 threes a game.
Okay, got you.
Regardless if he went 0 of 14, he was still taking 14.
Okay, got you.
And Bruce Brown couldn't even attempt 3 despite going 2 of 2. So stuff like that. And so when you see guys like Amani that are just not even given the opportunity, it really kind of gives you a little bit more insight.
It's head scratching.
Well, it's the politics behind all of that. So
that ain't going nowhere. So
that also explains that. I was going to ask you guys because about efficiency, and this is why you can't plug and play as much to bring up chemistry and complementary because of that political aspect of how these organizations and teams are ran with what they're guaranteeing other players for.
But whatever the front office is doing, the idea is to not make Saquon Barkley mistakes. You still want to bring in pieces of whatever it is. I mean, shouldn't somebody somewhere all throughout the building want to win? Isn't that what the bottom line is?
Well,
so you have to bring in pieces.
You wouldn't have a guy like Coach Barnes telling high school kids you have to care about winning. If this was some.
Well, we already know Kobe's
Jimmy Butler, who have been on record of not necessarily being the best teammate, publicly stating, I am Steph's Robin to his Batman. Why on earth is that occurring now, right? And why does he feel the need to even say that other than to the media to let them know, no, this is this guy's squad?
Well,
right? Why did he not do that with Embiid? Why?
Because Embiid is too big to be acting like a. Anyway.
Do you see what I mean? This is what we're talking about, ego with these players. And it seems to be more prominent in this respective league.
But let me say this, though. Jimmy Butler is the type of player. Now, he didn't say some stuff and done stuff to make me like, what you talking about? But when he shows up, though, he shows up to play, bro.
And you know what?
He don't low manage. He don't do none of that other type of stuff. Now, I'm not condoning all of the fanfare, and the peacock type moments, what I'm saying, soapbox moments and all of that the braggadociousness. I'm not no fan of all of that. You know what I mean? You taper that, somewhat. But he gonna come at you now. You know what I mean? He's not gonna tell you, no, I don't play no defense. And like, for instance, he's not a player that when his offense is not there, he's not doing, he's still doing other things. Too many guys, their offense ain't there. You don't even know. Like, well, he played and he was in the game, and I watched the game. What you mean? He was in the game? Yeah. So no, I'm talking about them guys. No, absolutely not. Pacers, Bucks. I'm saying right now, the Pacers should win this series. That's Siakam, Halliburton playing a whole lot better, Miles Turner. But for whatever reason, man, I don't know, man. Giannis is a force. Porter and then Portis. Do they still got Brook Lopez?
Yep.
Dang, I don't. Why? What's going on with him? I ain't seen him much lately. I don't know, man. That seeded series is seeded correctly. That's a real 4-5 type of deal. That's a pick 'em, really. In terms of the way it would play out, not necessarily to Gully's point about rosters. So, I just mentioned the 4 players over there, so I guess so. But you can have all the names on the roster, bro. If we not cohesive, that's what I mean about complimentary, man. If you have a wife or a girlfriend, I'm sure when they go shopping and they come back, if you wasn't with them, because who would want that? That's like, I'd rather fight a lion in the Serengeti with pork chop draws on. Never mind. Anyway, but when they come back from shopping, they say, "Look, honey, look what I bought." She's not going to go buy a purse. She's going to go buy things that complement if she buys an outfit, she's going to buy a purse to complement it and some shoes to, it's got to be bam, boom, bam. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to get out of that. Y'all not helping. Y'all not helping, man. Oh,
we gotta go, man.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Who you picking in that series? I'm just leave that alone. Leave that alone. Nothing. Okay, who you got in the series, man? I'm taking the Bucks.
I'm going with Milwaukee.
Okay. And then the Cavs, we don't know who they will be playing, but I'm telling you right now, if you are who you say,
I don't think they have to worry about that. I feel like at least for the first round, the Cavs are going to make a case for them being the best.
Because who would they be playing? Either Miami or Atlanta, right?
Correct. And naturally they would want Atlanta, but Miami again.
No, what you mean naturally? What you mean? Oh, for a minute there, the Cavs, even though they won 60-some thousand games this year, you go back and look at it, their record against Atlanta, the Thunder, and who was it? It was one more team. Was it the Celtics? I don't know. No, it was the Celtics. It was one more team, I believe. They was like a thorn in their side, bro. For whatever reason, Trae Young plays fantabulous against the Cavs, bro. That's not. But I mean, on the flip side, if you are who you say you are, it shouldn't matter who you see or should want to see. You should want to see whoever. Young man, trying to tell you.
Yeah, the Cavs are 1-2 against Atlanta.
Now, wait a minute. Let me add this in too. Now, for a little more context,
against Miami, they beat the Bucks. They swept the Bucks this season.
Yeah, but what about the Pacers? I want to know, how did they do against the Pacers?
Pacers actually 1-3 against the Pacers.
Yeah, that's I had you both were with Milwaukee. I don't know why. I'm going with Indiana on this. I actually think either someone from the old Central will prevail into the conference finals.
Oh, what a way to cover all bases! Wow! You see that guy?
Yeah,
that was blanket. My gosh, we put a comforter on that one, boy. You know what I'm saying? Come see, come saw. Yeah, I'm right. I'm over here, and I'm right. I'm over there. Guys, stop it. Yeah, the waiverability factor was at an all-time high. We'll get to your comment here in a second. What was I going? Hey, but listen, what I'm saying about Atlanta, though, man. Yes, the Cavs should want to see no matter who, but Atlanta, for whatever reason, man, like styles make fights type of deal. Atlanta, Trae Young, he can't play. He ain't good against probably nobody else. You know, he kicking the ball out the stands, throwing it at the wrist, all that, pouting like a little kid. But when he come to play the Cavs, he shows something he don't always show in other cases, man. I don't know.
Now, I would say in fairness.
Man, please. Now you want to be fair? Ain't nothing fair.
They played the Cavs. They played the Cavs. Cavs met Atlanta 3 times this season. The first 2 matchups was November 27th and 29th.
What difference do that make? It's still in the season.
Right. They got off to a hot start, if anything. Cleveland did.
Yeah. So
now he gonna talk about what time it is. Oh man, stop it. Okay, so now that we done covered the East, we'll say so we going Cavs. Double J, you with the Pacers. Me, Gully, you with the Bucks.
I like the Bucks.
Okay, you got the Knicks. Me and Double J got the Pistons.
Yeah.
And then I got Orlando, and y'all got the Celtics.
Yeah.
So now that the East is done,
it perfectly explains how St. John's ended up in
absolutely
in my bracket. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying?
It's a good thing they didn't include the 11 seed here because they would have been St. John's.
Yeah, hey, right.
Wow, really? That's ridiculous. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you like this.
Rick Pitino, Coach of the Year.
Why not? If Kevin Stefanski get Coach of the Year 2 times, man, don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm talking about in the NBA with you.
I don't care. We're talking about winning Coach of the Year. I don't care what sport. We get to your comment here in a second. Okay, so now that the East is done, let me ask this question because we're gonna get up out here. We appreciate y'all again for staying this long with us. Man, it's 99 o'clock at night. Show me the team whose regular season undoubtedly translates to the postseason. Strictly on the East side.
On the East, whose regular season translates to the postseason?
Undoubtedly.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics.
And why wouldn't it be the Cavs?
Well, you just highlighted it, right? First of all, they are 1-2 against the Hawks. And then the 7
I didn't say that, you did.
Well, we highlighted.
So how did I highlight something that you said?
No, because you said that Trey Young.
Oh, now that's what we doing. He
What
said,
you mean?
she
That's
said,
what we
but she
doing.
said she didn't.
That's what
I
you
ain't
said.
say that.
You ain't said nothing about Trey Young showing up against the Cavs. That you ain't
Yeah, I
say that?
did. I did say that.
So
but I ain't
what,
say nothing about
what
them one.
didn't you say then?
I didn't say nothing about 1 and 3.
I
That
didn't
ain't
say
come
nothing
from
about
me.
1 and 3 either. I
Oh,
said
you
1
just
and 2.
did. Okay, go ahead.
Well, if Trey Young shows up and plays well against them, and the Cavs are 1 and 2 against the Trey Young featured Atlanta Hawks, couldn't we? I mean, if f of x equals y, and I said y, and you said f of x, aren't we saying the same thing?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why. X yourself on out.
It's been fun with y'all, but we gotta run. Check us out on
because however many moons ago, the Cavs swept the Bulls 6 straight times in the regular season.
That's not what we're talking about.
And then Mike came out and took care of business. I'm saying on one side, what the Cavs did against the Falcons, because it's good. That's going to be a 3-touchdown game. I'm telling you that on one way or another. It's going to be 21 points. It's going to be like
Donovan Mitchell going to run for 147.
Bruh, I'm trying to listen, bro. It's going to be a Tom Brady, Matty Ice type Super Bowl. I'm saying, yes, we know what the Cavs didn't do against Atlanta. That's regular season. But I'm also saying that that's really no guarantee either, right? Because of what the Cavs did against the Bulls way back in the day and then what Mike ended up doing. But I'm also saying, to wrap it all up with some icing on the top.
Yeah, it's a funnel cake, all right.
What? That's disrespectful, bro. What is it about the way that this thing plays out when the Cavs play them is what I'm saying. What is it about the Cavs that Trey Young he's licking his chops, bro?
Yeah, matchups. I mean, hey, matchups make.
Oh, well, then why you just didn't lead with that? Anyway.
Why did I didn't have to lead with it.
Okay, Double J, who you saying? He said the Celtics, undoubtedly. I'm saying the Cavs.
You saying, hold on, you're saying the Cavs, their regular season is going to translate to their postseason?
I said, let me read this to you again. Let me read this to you again, because I see right now you sleeping over there. It's all good. You know what I'm saying?
No, because you the one double talking.
I'm not double talking.
Talking about,
that's Double
I didn't
J.
say that the Cavs I didn't say that Trey Young was 2-1 or 1-2 against the Hawks, even though every time they play the Hawks, he show up against the Hawks.
I was looking like that when I said that.
Yeah,
you
man.
were. I need to fix my face.
Yes,
Show me the team.
Show me the team
whose regular season undoubtedly. I said undoubtedly.
Mm-hmm.
Translates to the postseason.
The Boston Celtics.
Okay, Double J, who you saying?
Not Boston.
In the East. In the East. He said in the East.
I'm saying in the East. But I'm the same question for the West, but we ain't went through the West yet. What?
Right. They ain't gonna get there the way y'all talking.
What you say, Double J? Who? He say the Celtics. I say the Cavs. Who would you say?
Indiana Pacers.
Oh, well, that's terrible. Anyway, you should have kept that one. Let's move on over to the West Side. Then we're going to let y'all get up out of here again. Once again, we appreciate y'all staying with us. Excuse me. That 9-10, that's already done, right? The Mavericks beat the Kings, right?
Fourth quarter right now, 99-81.
And who's up?
Dallas.
Why are these games so wide? It's supposed to be. I thought the play-in would be more. I thought the idea of implementing it was for these type of games to be back and forth. Like, I want to hear the announcer say, man, it's been 14 lead changes and dot. You know, I want to hear that.
I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Style of play. Okay. So let's say Dallas wins, right?
Yeah.
The Grizzlies. The Warriors.
They would they would have to play the Grizzlies.
Hold up. Whoa. Who would have to play the Grizzlies?
If Dallas wins, they play the Grizzlies.
Oh, they got to play the Grizzlies. Oh, wow.
Golden State won.
For the 8th seed.
Correct. Dallas meets Memphis for the 8th seed. Yes.
Okay, so so Golden State, that Rockets, same thing, go to the bottom. That 2-7 seed, Rockets, Warriors. Yeah, I really don't want to touch that one either.
That's a pick 'em. I'll say that.
But on the other side, you said the seedings was all that's important. You think a 2 seed, a 7 seed gonna be the 2 seed? Now this is 2 seed and 7 seed. Now you're talking about it's a pick 'em.
I said to you, name any of those upsetted teams that you talked about that were more complete than this Boston Celtics. The only one
I couldn't off the top of
my
head.
Okay, well, nah.
Before we got to that, you said a 2 seed going.
I didn't say it just a 2 seed. I said it's
ridiculous for me to think that the 7 seed could be the 2 seed.
I said that the defending NBA championship Boston Celtics are a number 2 seed. That's the team I was talking about. I ain't talking about them being a 2 seed. I'm not talking about them being the 2 seed. I'm talking about them being the defending NBA champions.
Okay, so
that
hold on. So because they won the championship last year, that means that they're going to wipe through Orlando as a 7 seed.
They're largely the same team who hasn't shown a significant flaw.
Yeah, they shoot. Yeah, I told you they flaw. They shoot you in and shoot you out.
Okay. What teams on the East do you think can exploit that over a 7-game series?
I don't know, but I know.
I don't know them either.
I don't know because we're talking about the West right now. The same rule should apply to the West. The Warriors, their last championship was when?
2022.
Okay. 3 years removed, basically. 2 technically, because we ain't done with 25.
Now I said as much.
So 1 year ago versus 2 years ago, still a champion. But you think the Rockets gonna cakewalk the Warriors?
Who said that? I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
When did I say that?
You said that at the beginning of this right here.
Yo, hey man, it's a movie I want you to write down.
No, I'm not writing down. I'm not writing down no more of your recommendations. Absolutely not.
Guy Pearce. It's called Memento.
Hey, I seen that. I seen it. Where he put. I seen Memento. Where he put up all the sticky notes. Hey, let me give you 5 fingers. Yeah, let me do that. Who you got in that series? I'm taking the Warriors.
You taking the Warriors?
Absolutely. I think it's gonna be tough though, because the Rockets.
I don't know, man. The Rockets have been the most quiet number 2 seed I've ever known in my life.
Okay, I won't argue with that. Well, you ain't know it all of them in your life. You know how many 2 seeds
in my lifetime? That's what I'm saying. In my lifetime, for as long as I've been watching basketball, I've never known a number 2 seed so quietly disrespected in my lifetime.
I'm taking the Warriors.
The entire conversation about who's coming out the West features Oklahoma. It was until they fired Mike Malone, the Nuggets, the Lakers, and the Warriors.
Clippers. Oh no, well,
yeah, and you know what? The Clippers have been quiet too, but typically a 5th seed kind of being a quiet 5th seed kind of makes sense because they're a 5th seed. But I'll tell you what, all them teams I've heard about being in the finals, none of it, not one discussion about the Rockets being there.
No question. All right, so who you got then? The Warriors or the Rockets?
Man, I gotta.
No, absolutely to the not. You ain't finna go through all of that soliloquization and then not say who you got.
I'll go with the Rockets then. I'll take the Rockets.
No. Don't we don't do nothing by default, like just because.
I'll take the Rockets.
No, stand on it. Stand on the fence, bro. Yeah, cross this line. I dare you. Knock it off. You remember the Robert Conrad commercials with the battery on the shoulder? Knock it off. I dare you. Yeah, you ain't gonna do that. You're gonna go with the front runners. Man, get on out of here, Brian.
Who's the front runner? Who's the front runner? What? What you call me? Wait a minute. Hold on, man. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Wait.
I'm going with the Warriors. Double J, who you got?
Oh no!
You doing the same thing?
Give him the business.
Man, absolutely.
You know how he get?
Hell no!
You know how he get? He look down and he. I was thinking about
he over there. He over there. Yeah, he over there compiling the money lines and all of that. No, it's too late for all of that. Speak now or forever hold your
grin on his face that we only get in certain situations.
Yeah, speak now or forever hold your. Speak now or forever hold your pizza.
Man, I'm gonna go Rockets in 7.
Ooh, he must know something, Gully, that we don't know.
Yeah, right.
He been talking to Joe Dumars. Somebody. He talking to somebody over there about something. Somebody then gave him a parlay.
It gives me those vibes. Gully pointed out about the team being kind of slept on, and obviously they have a lot of inexperience, and I think that will certainly show itself to some degree. But this isn't the deepest Warriors team that we've ever seen.
No, it's not. And the ones who
they lack a lot of depth in the front court.
And then too, they better, some of them guys that household names, they better take a dip in the fountain of youth, because Jalen Green and Amen Thompson, them two dudes, oh my gosh, on your mark, get set, go.
It's really the supporting cast for me.
Anson Gwynn.
Yeah, you need to. I want to see. Ken. They're going to bother Draymond.
It's no question. Yes, no question.
Remember, Brooks is going to be who he always.
Oh, I forgot about Dylan Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pause and take a station identification. Barbershop J need to change the situation. I don't know. I'm still rolling with the Warriors, begrudgingly now. I forgot about that. Oh man. All right. So yeah, Warriors, Rockets. On that 3-6 side, Lakers and Wolves. No, I'm not finna go
let
first.
our host start.
No. I knew that's what that was. I'm not finna go first. Y'all want to hear what I got to say, right? I'm not going first. Wolves in 4.
No. We've been kicking this thing off, ever since the east side of the bracket.
No, that's really a tough call, and not because of the seeding, because Minnesota's 2. I don't know, man. They don't have Cat. Sometimes I like how Julius Randle playing this. Sometimes I don't.
Oh, Armand Joy and Mounds, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. Slow down there. Whoa. Slow down. Slow down there.
You the one said it.
Yeah. Hey. I'm going to take the Lakers in 9. I don't know, man. If the Wolves win this series, that's not no upset to me.
Because
Anthony Davis is he done turned it up a notch. Aside from whatever he got going on off the court, I don't want to talk about that. But on the court, man, he got his nasty back.
Yeah.
They went through a transition when they left Cat, because you could tell how from where I'm sitting, it just looked like Cat was really intertwined with that group. And then by him leaving too, it put a lot of people out of position too. Because Nas Reed in the starting lineup now or something like that?
He was without Randall, yes.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, got you. It just, a lot of the positions were askew, but they seem to have, like, the ship has seemed to have somewhat righted itself.
Yeah.
And Ant playing with a chip on his shoulder, man. I'm not saying it's a championship type chip. You know what I'm saying? Say that fast so you don't let it slip. But Ant playing with a chip on his shoulder, man. It could be enough to win this series. I'll say that. It could be enough to win this series. But I think the Lakers in 7.
Okay.
Because right now, that's the Lakers. They are a sieve, bro.
Yeah.
And they slow.
Yeah.
They slow defensively. If many get out, if the transition, that's what I want to know. I want to know, bro, don't let the transition points be like 3-1 or nothing like that.
Yeah. The Lakers have the benefit of having home court advantage.
Right. Do they really? I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
But all it takes is game 1 to surprise them, and then Minnesota, they're going.
The rest
Minnesota knocked off. Right? It was last year that Minnesota knocked off Denver in spectacular fashion.
But they had Cat too, though.
Yeah, they did.
So that's what I'm trying to say. But when I was saying about the Knicks, on the flip side, the Timberwolves they look tougher. They look like they done got tougher, man. They gritty. And see, here's one of my things. We talk all the time about playoff translatables. That's why I'm asking the question. Like, which team overall? Like, you gotta, rebounding is key, matchups is key in the format, bruh. Ant and he didn't seem to elevate them to a different type of level of nasty. Like, I really don't like you. You know what I mean? And when you get a cat with that kind of mindset, you know what I mean? He willing, them 50-50 balls usually go their way, you know, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to take the Lakers in 7 on this one. Gully, who you say you got again? The Lakers or the Timberwolves?
Shit, did I even pick?
Hey, what you doing there? Oh, my gosh. Right here, man.
Did I even pick? I think, because I talked about how the Timberwolves did surprise. We just talked about, the Timberwolves did surprise the defending champ Nuggets. However, they don't have Cat this year. I'm going to go ahead and go with. I'm going to take the Lakers and Shannon Sharp, Lakers in 5.
Did you say the what? Oh, never mind. Who you got? Who you got, Double J?
Yeah, give me Luka, the Lakers in 6.
All right, then sliding on one more again up. Nuggets and the Clippers. I really don't. It's not really a lot to say about this one, especially after Gully mentioned earlier. They didn't fire Mike Malone, bro. That's I don't. Yeah, okay, right, fine, whatever. Okay, I'm taking the Clippers in this one. Now there are many who are saying Ricardo Stafford, our once upon a time Ask the GM co-host. He a Clippers fan. He been screaming the Clippers all year long. And we already know what Brother Rich say. Any team with James Harden on it, you ain't gonna win a championship. But they gotta. I mean, if you ask yourself a couple questions about them, who really on that side of the bracket will outcoach Tyronn Lue? Who really, in terms of star power, if he's gonna play, can really outdo Kawhi Leonard on both ends of the floor? And in terms of the others, how many more teams on the West Side got others that would be better than a Norman Powell? And dare I say, to an extent, a James Harden?
Yeah, because James Harden has got a
Now, wait a minute. Where was this energy earlier in the year? It wasn't like
I don't watch NBA basketball early in the year, bro. What you mean? I'll be watching Living Single. Woo, Khadijah James.
We are living.
Oh man, why I do that? Okay, man. Listen, man. These people want to. Oh my God.
Keep your head up. What? Keep your head up. That's right. Whatever this life, you gotta fight.
These people want to go home, bro. Who you picking? The Clippers or the Nuggets?
They're gonna clip them Nuggets. Whoa. Pause. My bad. Gosh. Good night.
Yeah, it's time to go, bro.
Man.
Yeah, that's for After Dark, bro. It's a family show.
Wow.
You done got beside yourself.
I'm sorry.
I'm going, but I'm going with the Clippers too, though.
All right, you going with the Clippers? Yeah.
Now, in how many? Yeah. I said
now, if all right, if
he said
Mike
that makes
Malone
3
was the coach, would we have say that? Mike
yes,
Malone,
I still would, but I'd say like 7 games, only because who is there to spell? We saw what happened when Joker ran up against Minnesota last year.
Yeah,
when Minnesota, they were able to throw multiple big bodies at him.
Yeah,
on the defensive end and on the offensive end.
Right.
It's one thing when I got to deal with one guy all night, but then I got to deal with 3 of y'all.
Yeah.
And then when it's time for me to get a breather,
I'm
right back. I can't even go sit down on the bench. I got to go sit at the scorer's table.
Not everybody can spar 15 minutes and then get a fresh set of hands at you for 15 minutes like a Floyd Mayweather. Not everybody.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Joker did, and they ain't taking nothing away from what he do.
Right. They wore him down, right?
But he's human. Is what I'm trying to say. They threw fresh bodies at him, bro.
Yeah, they put him on the treadmill and they put him on an elliptical for real.
For real.
kept turning.
It was like he was playing with 6 fouls versus 18. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm taking the Clippers though, and I still would, but I think that it'd probably be. I don't know. Denver still might put up a fight, and they don't have the depth anymore either. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers if they 4-1 them. I wouldn't be. And then lastly, before we get out of here, again, we appreciate y'all for staying for the 317 hours. Boy, oh boy. OKC. We picking them no matter who they playing, right? It's got to be maybe the Lakers, the Clippers, or the Warriors or something like that for us to really be enthralled, but who their opponent might be.
Yeah, because at this point it will be either the Mavericks or either the Mavs or the Grizzlies to meet them in the first round.
Yeah, I think either one is over early enough that we'd be like, oh, they played, one of them type of deal. Like, oh, I missed it. I'm trying to say. Yeah. So I asked the same question before we get out of here. No, Double J, you didn't make your pick. Well, we already said OKC. You're going with OKC too, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be
Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, I know one thing down there in Memphis. Zach Edey better get his weight up.
That's crazy.
He has like 17 rebounds.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. I'm just saying. I be watching the games, but I be like, it looked like it's 5-on-4 out there. I can't see the forest because I can't see the forest because he's the trees. What you say?
There you go.
Anyway, I'm asking this question again about them. Of the West Side squads, show me the team whose regular season undoubtedly translates to the postseason. Like the reason why you picked that team to win is because it's like a no-brainer. Like you're gonna be crocheting, some socks, for your kitten and all that old type of stuff while this game is on. It's gonna be more so watching you than you watching it. Yeah. Oh, y'all want me to go first?
Yep.
Yes.
The Clippers.
Okay. No, JU.
What don't they have? With all due respect to OKC, the Clippers got experience, head coach, bench, formidable others.
Yeah, they have depth and their singular star players are playing in tandem. All right.
And at the end of the day, I'll rephrase it this way. How many of those teams on the West that I asked that question about that you would have the least amount of questions about?
Except you still have James Harden.
I mean, I'm going to give him a pass, man. Me and Brother Rich going to have to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to, Even with him, they still have they still check off more boxes. Even if you want to take him off the box, they still check off more boxes. I think they most complete team as a fifth.
I will say this: I expect my Western Conference Finals to likely be the Lakers and Thunder.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. And on that note, I'll leave you with this quote: "Opportunity." Well, you don't need to. We already know who you picked. Opportunity is swift of flight, but slow to return. Read that again. Opportunity is swift of flight, but slow to return. It's been fun, but we got to run. Don't forget to check us out every Wednesday at 9:30 on the PM side, right here on the yard. We'll take our pick what time, right? Or y'all can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the shop's fan page, and of course, YouTube. And make sure, please, when you're over at the tube, you hit that subscribe button. We'd be much obliged. And if that don't work, Google it. For my dudes, B Rich, Double J, D Gully, and all those who follow and support us, I say I'm Barbershop J. You listen to the Shop Report, and I'm Sleep A. Gully, rest well, bro. Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? We out. Oh, we got a comment. We're going to get to this last comment, then we're going to be out of here.
No, we're not.
Oh, hey, Detroit, good night, fellas. Nice. Oh, straight up. That's right. Good. Detroit fan, man. Hey, I'm Barbershop J. You be listening to the Shop Report. Remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Gully, don't be giving me no commands. I don't do commands. Don't tell me what to do. We out. Deuces.
Yeah, drop one.
Hey.